What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever. Period. I'm your host, Pharaoh. My wonderful co-host Lee, and the wonderful, wonderful, janky queen Leah Peters. Leah, we're so happy.
We are killing it today.
We're killing it. How you doing, Leah? How you been?
I'm incredible. Honestly, cannot complain. I am definitely now an addicted live feeder. I fear. I have become. I'm like, one of us. Like, deep in there. Like I am in the room with them, like shouting at the screen, and I'm starting to finally understand. Whenever people are the type to yell at a football team, that's me in my living room now.
So you weren't a big feedster before your season?
No, I was not. My sister was the super fan. So my sister, Danny, she has seen every single season of Big Brother. She's watched the feeds. She knew everything. I've only seen a handful of seasons. And at this point now I watch more, obviously. But prior to my season, I only saw I think 6 seasons.
That is so interesting to me because you're an anomaly in the Big Brother world. There are so many people who go in literally as fans and then they stop watching or they don't want to watch anymore. Why do you think you started watching and getting more into it afterwards? Were you like, dang girl, this was fun as fuck? Like what was that? Because usually it just doesn't happen like that.
You know what? I still haven't watched my season. I think it's something about watching other people. It's like for me, I would rather clean someone else's room than clean my own room. And I would rather watch somebody else go fight to the death for $750,000 than myself. But to me, it's honestly kind of like therapeutic at this point. And I also can view it from a different perspective now that I've been in the house. And I sort of am just trying to get to know the house guests because I want to be like a beacon of support whenever they exit the house sort of thing.
And that's good. That's good. Because I feel like we hear a lot of players come out and they say how their mental health is affected by the game and it takes them a while to adjust. Did you feel like you had that period where you were like, "Whoo, is the camera still on?"
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I still have that. Like, I feel like it's not something that ever leaves 100%. Over the past year, I've still been trying to build back my routine. And I actually just watched Ashley on the live feed today. And she's like, I'm just going to snap back into my regular life. And I was like, I hope that so much for you, queen. But I personally took me like a year. And, but I'm so grateful for the experience. I just think that you're forever changed and all of the alum that I've talked to from it. You know, we all have our unique experiences and what we went through in the house. And I was actually just watching a Frankie Grande interview where he was sort of talking about this. And he was kind of saying that like, afterwards he was, whispering to his sister in the bathroom. That is literally me. I have confronted several family members and been like, oh, you guys are talking about me outside on the balcony. No pun intended, because I caught them talking about me on the balcony, but I'm like, who's talking about me? But I've always been kind of paranoid like that. Not as much as the show though. So I think it does take a toll in its own way for sure.
That is very interesting, but it's been a year, so I'm glad you had time to decompress and all of that. You feel good, and you're watching this current season. How are you feeling about the season so far? Because this is different than you guys' season, very much so.
Very much so, and it is a lot different, but it's so uniquely incredible, and I'm so happy that this is the first season after ours because you never know what to expect, obviously. And I'm happy that instead of wanting to dial it back after seeing whatever flack that we got, who knows if they looked or not, they decided to take it upon themselves and still be entertaining, still, go out of the box. Seeing Rachel come in the house, also the Nolan twins, I am I was fangirling because season 12 is my favorite season. Season 17, also one of my favorite seasons. And to watch all of this all over again is just, I'm so jealous. I'm like, I love this for them. I can imagine how they must be feeling. I say that because with all the twists and turns of us having AI Arena and everything like that, and now they have that with the BB Blockbuster, it feels like also now you're playing with a huge threat. You're playing with Rachel. That's a huge, rock in your game. And I just don't know how I would handle it. I'd be like, oh, great. Just freaking send the money over to this queen over here. What are we talking about? Honestly, it's so fun to watch from an outsider's perspective, and they're all doing incredible, and I'm proud of them.
So after your season and watching this one, would you play again? Because we're going to need you on a second chance season if they call.
Please, are you guys coming with me? I would 100% play. If they had me, I would be so grateful. I'm like, I think that they would probably choose, the Angela or the Tucker or the Quinn before they chose me, but I'm available. CBS, listen, I'm available.
That's right.
They better choose you. We need a Leah. Like I said, I feel like your personality type. I don't know if you watched season 4 with Alice and Irwin. A lot of people made those comparisons because it's like this independent woman who's coming to this season. She's winning competitions. She's playing people on the low. It's like, it's just this energy you exude. I don't know if you know it, but it's just this energy you exude that's just like, this is a bad bee. Like, I live.
Wow. I am obsessed. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. The whole time I was in the house, I was just like, wow, I suck at everything and everybody thinks I suck. And then I started winning things and I was like, I don't suck so bad. And then I got promoted and I was like, girl, you know what? Let me just kick back and enjoy the jury house, my jacuzzi tub, and all will be well. But thank you so much. I haven't watched season 4. I definitely want to get to it. I want to watch season 4 and season 6. My sister and I are like currently rewatching really old seasons. So I have heard Allison Irwin. I've heard Nicole Franzel. I'm honored that Janelle is a fan of mine. I love all the alum that I've met are great. So I have no complaints.
That's wonderful. Now, speaking of old seasons, I do have to plug us one quick little cute time because we do our Big Brother Rewind series where we go back and we watch the old Big Brother seasons. And it's such a fun experience to like really watch them. It's so cool. But we also get into the live feeds of it all and stuff. So yes, you doing a rewatch is so fun. We literally just watched Big Brother 5. And there's so many comparisons to this season as it is to Big Brother. Honestly, any old season, there's so many comparisons you can make between the two and stuff like that, which is why it's really, really fun. It's really, really fun. And honestly, this season being compared to BB26 is why I feel like a lot of the girls are on Twitter and on the social media saying they don't love this season so much. People are saying the blockbuster doesn't work, I did want to ask you, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like the blockbuster is not working this season? Do you feel like this season is boring, or do you feel like you're gagging still? Because
honestly, I for a player like myself, the blockbuster, well, as someone who never got to compete in the AI,
exactly, not nominated,
never had to compete.
last few nominated on my season. May I just? But basically, it's Quinn and I used to talk about this, and it's sort of just so built for compies that for a player like myself, if I wasn't, keeping myself off the block week after week, then it really benefits, the Mackenzies and the Janelles and, the compies of the season. And it really puts them in a really great footing. And it also, but at the same time, they need that switch up. Why? Because Big Brother was getting a little boring where it's like, all right, let's cut out all the physical threats now because we know that they can beat us in comps and everything like that. So it's like you didn't even have a chance if you had an athletic capability or you're good at puzzles and all of that. You had no chance really because they could just backdoor you and whatever. This kind of eliminates the backdoor. I love it and I hate it. I don't really know. I definitely don't think the season is boring. I did kiki and giggle, and I'm so sorry. I never want to like talk down on house guests, but I did giggle seeing like Jimmy and being like scene for like RuPaul's Drag Race, like,
yes.
like and you know what? Guess what? It happens to us all. I am also a parrot. I repeat also all the references. Like the second that I met Chelsea, I remember we were like laughing over a Flavor of Flav quote where it's like Beyonce, like you look like so it's like I get quoting it. But I do giggle. I definitely don't think it's boring though, but
Yeah. All right, y'all. I think we could slide into this week a little bit. It is week 3 in the Big Brother house. I'm going to pull up the images of all the players. Boom. Child, look, before we even start, none of this is real. 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 The only reason I have this is all fake. This is all fake.
All of your imaginations.
All of your imagination.
Here.
Because no, it's just not real. And this is what we'll do. We'll end up explaining kind of more of the real split and situation that's going on. The reason I do have these groupings still on the screen is because some of them are getting talked about. They are relevant considering Lauren is the head of household, right? So Lauren won the HOH. The HOH competition was the one where they had to watch videos. It was the Nolan twins. And they were doing all these little moments and stuff. You had to pay attention to what they were saying and answer the questions and da-da-da-da-da. Very cute, fun competition. Shout out to the Nolan twins. I know Leah likes the Nolan twins. And then Lauren.
Miami Queens. My Capricorn Queens.
Period. The last two was like, it was Lauren and Mickey who were the final two in this competition, and Lauren ended up winning. Shout out to, are we shouting out Lauren for winning this, or is it more so like, girl, you should have just let Mickey have this? No shade.
Oh, okay. So I have mixed feelings. You know, shout out to Lauren for winning and being our first female HOH of the season. We are obsessed. However, I did want Mickey to win it. I have been a Mickey stan from the jump. He's one of my absolute favorites. So I'm a little bit biased.
Period.
Leah, with the taste. Come on. Because I'm head Mickey defender.
I have my list ready. And you know what? This is crazy. Hannah Chada, she interviewed all of us and was asking who our winner pick was. And I kind of was like, you know, you don't want to say the wrong thing, obviously. And at first I was like, you know, everyone compares me to Katherine. Obviously, shout out Katherine. But she failed to include the clip of me being like, but I see Mickey taking it.
Period.
It's just been one of my favorites. So.
So Lauren ends up winning the head of household. Of course, she nominates the exact same people that were nominated last week, and it's never no shade. She noms Kelley, Kelley, Keanu, and Will. Keanu wins the power veto himself this time. No shade. And then
Lisa and Angela, basically, are back up on the block for the 100th time in a row.
Literally. But I will say the veto has been used, and we need to pause right here because this is where it gets crazy. The veto has been used every single week, so it's only been 3 weeks, girl. But you know, it's been used all 3 weeks. I think that might be a pro of the blockbuster.
They want to be us so bad with the veto uses.
They want to be y'all so bad. It would be all so bad, but it has been. So Keanu took himself off the block, and initially, you know, we had Kelley and Will on the block, and Lauren had to decide who was she going to replace as the replacement nominee. And this is really the whole discussion of the week. This was her whole discussion. She took this to the end of Final Jam. They called her name 4 times before she made this. It was crazy. So
it was crazy. You would think she was doing trigonometry. The way she was struggling with this decision, girl. I was like, Lauren, baby,
lock in, queen. And then she was super fan. And I don't. Well, she's been acting a fool this week, but I don't hate Lauren. I don't hate her, but this decision, and I'll just say my opinion real quick, and then y'all say yours. This decision to me, I felt like some of the girls on Twitter were saying, I don't think she made the wrong choice. I don't think she made the wrong choice. Personally, I feel like after she did all that she did and drug it out to the end of the depths of despair and damn near told Ashley she was going to keep her say, and all, it was so much that happened. By that point, I do feel like she kind of put herself in a corner to have to do Adrian. However, she should have just stood on business, decided on Ashley very quickly, and then adjusted around that. Because the truth is, Zach and Vince told her straight to her face, girl, they weren't going to nominate you anyways. Whether you put up Ashley or you didn't put up Ashley, you weren't going to be targeted by the other side. And I fully agree, which is why I feel like she should have just put up Ashley quick. She should have just decided to put up Ashley, stood on business immediately, and then all of that extra wouldn't have happened to where she felt like she needed to do Adrian. But I don't know. What do y'all think?
I'll let Lee go, and then I can share. I like
period.
To be honest.
So my opinion on it is I think this was a fabulous HOH. Lauren made the right decision in the end, and that's all I have to say. She ate that up. You know, she kept Ashley safe. She put up who I wanted her to put up. So I think, you know, Lauren is a queen. Actually, I want her to go far. Let me stop.
Wait. Pause on that note. I do want to say, as soon as she won the HOH and the fees came back, I made a tweet and I said, my faves will be safe. Because Lauren will definitely be playing Out of Fear this week. And did I not clock the fuck?
You clocked that hard. And I saw that. That was a slay.
No.
But no, continue. What were you saying, Lee?
Honestly. What were you going to say?
No. Listen. I'm listening.
I was just gonna say, I mean, of course, it wasn't the best week. She was very indecisive, and I feel like that's gonna be an issue going forward. I don't like that she literally wants someone to tell her what to do. She was literally begging Vince and Zach to say, "Who should I put up?" And for some reason, even though they had all the control in the world this week, we're like, "We're not gonna tell you a direct answer," and that made her spiral even more, and that allowed room for the other side to pressure her. You know what I mean? And that pressure was just too much. She's clearly not someone who is, I think, wanting to be in confrontation. Like, she seemed like someone that's afraid of confrontation a little bit. So like having to like stand on business and say, Ashley, I'm gonna put you up, even though Ashley's looking her in her face saying, girl, I trust you, don't put me up, I won't put you up. It was hard for her. But I do feel like if her allies like Zach and Vince were like, girl, put up Ashley and do nothing else, she would have done it. But unfortunately, like, even though the girls make up the minority in the game right now, like, they are still the most active players within the game. So I feel like that is really what, tipped the scale this week, because Zach, Vince, Katherine, Rylie, none of them were pushing anything at all. And it's like they had Keanu going up there pushing stuff, which made the situation worse. It was just, it was not a good HOH week at all. It just was not, child. But like I said, I got my outcome that I wanted. Now, if Kelley go home, baby, I won so bad. Like this will be a perfect HOH if Kelley leaves. I will be giving Lauren a 10.
Oh my God. I don't know about that.
I honestly, as someone who is known as someone who very much fumbled their HOH, I have mixed feelings. One, going the safe route is what people like to do in the beginning weeks. They like to, state their positioning, keep well with the rest of the house, and feel good about that. I still sometimes wish that I would have taken a bigger shot during my HOH, and I honestly think that if I didn't have a janky HOH, I might have gone a different route, being able to sit with my own thoughts and things like that. However, I'm not the type of person that lets people sway my decisions, and all of it was made within my own logic. And one thing that's bothered me is that she is an independent thinker. She's such a strong, intelligent woman. All of these women are. And it's so frustrating to be like, well, I was just watching even the feed stage. She's like, well, nobody's telling me what to do. Or like, and it feels like I'm like, this is your thing. Like, you need to make your own decision. I do think that it is the safest that she could have gone. But at the same time, if she's wanting to float around and not make big moves, then she's accomplishing that goal. So, you could hate, you could not hate. I think there's way bigger threats in here. I think that I think all three of I would say that Will and Adrian could be dragged along a lot longer. Kelley is the cat with 9 lives that does not die. She is she just wins herself. She just offers herself up and then takes herself off. I respect it. I respect it. But it was very safe. And I wish that I wish she wasn't looking for an answer, because the only answer is like, trust your gut. You know what I mean? Like, that's the biggest advice that I would give anyone going on the show or currently on it, is just trust what you think and trust who your threats are, because this might be your only shot to take a shot.
Yeah, very much so.
I do want to say, Leah, speaking of your HOH week, sister, you stressed me out. Okay, I was a head T-Core defender, girl, and when that happened, I said, Leah, baby, no.
Guys, I am T-Core's #1 fan in and outside of that house, and it was the main driving force for that decision was solely because the whole entire game made it very abundantly clear I wanted to work with Chemo and T-Core. I voted with them on several votes. I told them straight to their face, Chemo is still one of my best friends. So is T-Core. Chemo would not trust me with anything. He could not, because he had Tucker in his ear talking a lot of mess and whatever. And also, Chemo is the most paranoid person on planet Earth. When it was T-Core's HOH, he still thought there was a chance of him getting put up. Every week, he thought he was getting put up. And so I knew with my whole heart of hearts that him, Rubina, and T-Core were just never going to rock and ride with me. And I felt like I was a little scared to take the shot at Chelsea, just because I knew how well insulated she was. I've gone over the situation a million kajillion times, and I'm telling you right now, I think there's no shot of me. A lot of people are like, you would have won if you would have taken her out. Not true, babe. Wish every day. Not true. She had an army. She had literally they won it. I literally went into the jury house and I'm like, oh my God, they want her to win so bad. That's so nice of them to just like give the game away because that's what they want. That's what they want. But also I should have taken the shot. I knew it. And also, but the problem is I would have put her up after the janky veto. And I sadly tried my best with that freaking throw thing. And it was my nightmare. And I knew that T-Core was a threat because she had the best social game in the house, whether that's on TV or not. Everybody loved her. They waited on her hand and foot, including myself. I still love her. She had such a mist about her. And honestly, I also just went over the votes in my head not too long ago, but she would have never put Chelsea up. She would have never voted Chelsea out. I was the next one regardless. But I stressed myself out during my HOH. It was so scary.
I mean, you did what you had to do. I mean, either way, I was losing a fave that week. So I was just like, child, which one is it going to be?
No, the truth is, I do feel like with Lauren, with this situation, I understand her conflict. I understand her conflict within herself. You know, I understand the whole, should I do this and be safe, or should I do this and I guess make a move? And I also understand her fear and all of that and woo. But I really just think like she was the perfect person to do the move because she wouldn't have gotten blamed for it. And I really just feel like that should have been her mindset. Like, girl, they ain't never gonna blame. But she kept thinking it was her. I'm like, girl, it's not you.
And I also think that she actually placed a target on herself because now people are looking at her like she can't make her own decisions. Do we want her to be a part of the decision making of jury? Do we want her to take it further in the game? And do we want her being a puppet? Some people might take this as a hint as to let's take her further in the game because she's easily influenced and she's someone we can knock out at the end. I'm not going to name any names, but we've seen it before. It's happened. We might be able to repeat. Who knows?
Right.
Child.
Exactly.
I mean, she basically wants that herself. She actively is pushing for a final three with Vince and Zach. Right. I don't know how my sister is gonna win on that final three, child, but
no.
And it's almost like, girl, are you planning to win? I get lost. I get lost sometimes with her. I think we need to get more into it when we get to her specific player rating because there's so much to say. Because I'm like, girl, what are you thinking? But anyway, it's no shade. She decides at the end of Final Jam to put up Adrian on the block instead of Ashley. There was like a last minute deal that Jimmy made, and he was like, we can all promise you safety. Ashley promised her safety, and Keanu was pushing all of this. What was his plan?
So his rhetoric was essentially blame this all on me so I can take the blame and fall for you. Just blame it on the fact that I came up here and I convinced you to do this so that way I'm the target.
We made a deal. Yeah, and we made a deal for me to be nommed.
And Lauren was basically like, well, I don't want the other side to see me in that manner, even though they still do. I don't want them to see me in the manner of basically my HOH got ran by Keanu of all people. And that truly turned her off. Like, I will say it wasn't just Jimmy. It was Jimmy up there. Rachel was up there talking to her. Ashley was in her HOH bright and early. Girl, Mickey was praying with her. I said, Mickey, you better bring out that prayer. Right. Okay, like everyone on the girl's side was up there in her HOH room. Katherine nowhere to be seen. Rylie nowhere to be seen. Zach and Vince coming at the last minute, not saying shit at all. You know, even Ava was up there saying, girl, I wouldn't put any of them up. You know, it's like everyone in her ear is saying, basically, don't do it. And her allies are not. And she was looking for that reassurance from her allies. And I don't think they fully gave her that.
So
Keanu's photo just says it all. Like, well, we do not know me. Good luck.
Good luck. So she puts up Adrian, and the final nominees at this point are Kelley, Adrian, and Will. Girl, they got to go into the blockbuster and bust it open. It seems like Will is probably going to stay regardless because even Vince today was saying that he kind of wants Will to stay over Kelley, and that kind of brings us to the sides that have been discussed and alluded to all week. Let me pull up a better image for you. And is this even better? I don't know. But boom.
Oh, it's too many people on that right side. It's too many people on that right side.
Too many different people. So on the left chat, we have a side with a few of the girls, majority of the girls. And then on the right, we have a side with a little bit more of the boys. Really, it's just sides. I wouldn't even say boys or girls. It's sides at this point because Will and Jimmy over here and da-da-da-da, right? So, but these are the two sides. There's kind of like a group of people who are kind of working with people on both ends. And of course, I would say Vince and Zach are definitely working with some people on this end because they're working with Morgan. They feel cool with Will and Jimmy kind of. And then Ava is kind of working on both ends very much so. But everyone else involved is more so firmly on their side in one way or another. You know what I mean?
What's frustrating to me is because on the right side, of course, we have Rylie, Kelley, Katherine, Adrian, Keanu, Lauren, Vince, Zach, and then Ava's kind of in the middle. That side of the game don't really like Keanu at all. I think that people like Mickey, Rachel, Morgan, they've really tried to extend an olive branch to Keanu to try and like essentially help him see the light. And he refuses to see it. And I unfortunately feel like it's because Keanu, for some reason, does not trust damn near anything someone tells him at all, especially if it's coming from a woman, no shade, because it's like immediately he's just like, no, nothing you're saying is relevant. I'm going to believe what I want to believe. I know who I'm riding with. And he's choosing a side of people that really does not fully enjoy him. Same with Kelley. I would say even a little bit with like Katherine, like this side of the game, they're not in a solidified alliance, but they all see Morgan, Ashley, Mickey, Rachel, Jimmy as threats, which is forcing them together. But as far as them liking each other, they barely do.
There's no chemistry on that side. I'm not chemistry. I'm not feeling the vibes. Like I don't want to get into player rankings yet, obviously, but you know, there's a different, you know, these are two different groups and one has chemistry and the other one doesn't. That's my opinion. And I agree with you. I think Keanu is he's stuck in his way, whatever that way is. Like, yes, King, give us nothing. I don't know. But it sucks because there are a few people that in my opinion, they don't fit in where they're trying to fit themselves.
Right. They're trying to force it. And
Kelley is one of those people. Yeah. Like Keanu's one of those people. I feel like Adrian is one of those people.
Adrian is definitely one of those people.
Hilarious to me because those are the three most loyal to the right side of the game. They're the most loyal to this huge conglomerate that's not even in a real alliance. And it's like the inability to just be open with your game and have alliances other than the same five people. It's like, why are people so unable to do that? I just don't get it. Like Leah, I feel like in your season, you're willing to work with anybody. And I feel like that's what you should be. Like open to being social with anybody.
I wanted to work with whoever wanted to work with me because at the end of the day, like I am a firm believer in life and in the Big Brother game. People who like you want to work with you. Like if you're in real estate or if you're a server, which are two occupations that I've done, in both of those fields, what's the number one reason why people want to work with you? Because they like you. And so for me, I really wanted to go around and try to get to know everyone and just be myself and be personable and get to know them on a personal level first and then establish that work relationship. I was willing to work with whoever wanted to work with me and protect me. And initially when you first walk in the house, it might not be but also something that I want to say is like, it might work for them a little bit just because sometimes it's not your best friend that you're going to work with the best to the end. But at the end of the day, you can't just like look around and say, oh, well, you, and you. And like, I think that we'll have a relationship. I was so shocked that everybody rushed so early in the beginning and everyone's playing, which I love to watch it, but that was not my strategy in the game because you don't know these people. You don't know what their intentions are. You don't know who you can trust. Like you have to like get an eye for their behaviors, their body language, know who they are, and then all in, to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. But like Lee was saying, this side is definitely mostly Rylie, Kelley, Kat, Adrian and Keanu are so firmly with it. And then I would say Lauren is trying her best to play the middle. And then, of course, Zach and Vince are definitely playing the middle. Now, on the left side, we have it's kind of a different type of situation because, in my opinion, everyone in this group of Rachel, Morgan, Ashley, Jimmy, Mickey, Will, and honestly, I would say Ava is definitely leaning more towards this side of the house because her relationships are just all with them. Like, she's saving Will no matter what. You know, it's very leaning towards this way. But everyone on this side kind of has bonds with people on the other side, or at least was trying to make some, because even Mickey was trying to make some with Adrian, and she talked to the Lord. She does. They do a lot more integrating, I feel, on this side. But I think this side is more so the perception of the other side. I think the other side really, really feels like they can never work with Mickey. They can never work with Ashley. They can never work with Rachel or Morgan. So it does feel like they're firmly like stuck in this kind of area, while Will gets a chance to kind of still be in between both because people like him. Morgan is working with Zach and Vince very closely, so I think she has connections to this side. And Jimmy has a connection to Kat and Lauren that I feel like even saved him this week, because Jimmy was someone who got pitched multiple times to Lauren, and she was like, well, girl, I made a deal with him. He cool with me and Kat. So those three I feel like have more of a chance. But Rachel, Ashley, and Mickey, I don't think anyone on this side is willing to even work with them seriously damn near ever, which is unfortunate, but it does feel that way. It's starting to feel that way. You know what I mean?
You made such a great point. And honestly, I think it's so like, it's frustrating that they're so adamant. There's certain people who are so adamant saying names right off the gate. Oh, well, when I win HOH, I'm putting up this person, this person, this person's my target. All right. Well, inevitably, when you don't win HOH, and you're with HOH, now what? And now you just fumbled the whole thing. Why don't you just keep that to yourself? You don't need to map out your whole game for everybody all the time. You need to keep a lot of your thoughts to yourself. And hey, listen, one person's going to win. Why would you be that person that wins if you don't have all these people wanting to be on your side to a certain extent? Like, you can't just, there's a few people on the right side that I've heard say things and I hate this person. This person annoys the sleep out of me. Like, I want them out ASAP. Well, I kind of liked keeping a target in the house to deflect off of me.
Right.
Like, you remain the focus. Why get out the person that you dislike the most, or that everybody dislikes the most, whenever you can keep that person there a little bit longer and actually get out the threats? Because it's not about it's about who the people like the most. That's who's going to win the game.
Literally.
Get the people that everyone has a problem with, take them all the way, and then boom, there's your jury vote. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's also just crazy to have a side in a game that's so unpredictable. You have no idea who's going to even be on the block at the end of the day, the last two people. And you guys are like, oh, I refuse to work with so-and-so. Well, when they're each then what? And honestly, I'm happy that she didn't put Ashley up, because I kind of want Ashley to win HOH. I've been wanting it from the beginning.
Period.
I need it. I need to see and feel it, and I need the diva in the castle. I just like, I need to see her do her thing. I love hearing her, Mickey, and Rachel talk game. They're my favorite to listen to. Ava, I think her personality is great, but I just really love listening to them and their way that their brains work, because I think that they are so good that they've honestly, I don't know. I just feel like they're killing it right now. So, but
you're so real.
It's just always bad to have a for sure person that you hate, like your rival, because that person can win still.
Exactly. And
I think
sorry.
Oh no, go.
I think a lot of people in this season are like that, and it's really hurting their game, especially the people on the right side of it. And it's unfortunate because, you know, it's based on the competition. So I would hate a world in which people on this blue side, they start winning, and then they are just the people left in the game. Like, I'm really hoping with the equitable comps, like, there's a back and forth at least, because I would hate if they were to steamroll, because first of all, I just personally, I don't love the people. You know, I would much rather Jimmy, Ashley, Will, Rachel, and Morgan be in the end game, and my sister Ava be in the end game. And it's scaring me because they are so unwilling to even try to work with them. Like, Rachel has so many conversations with Keanu, and Keanu is now not targeting Rachel.
Exactly.
Keanu refuses to work with Rachel at any full capacity. Mickey shared so much information with Adrian, which I am so against. And Adrian fully ratted her out, continuously doing it as well. And it's like, I don't understand the point of just taking information and spilling it all to other people. Why not hold on to it and try to take this relationship and build upon it? Like, I'm not saying that he should be trusting Mickey 1,000%, but what's the point of just full on losing that relationship, and trying to spread these things? Like, I just want to know like the goal of it, because I'm trying to see how it betters his position, because it doesn't seem like it's doing it yet. And that's not just him. I feel the same with Kelley. Every time Kelley has a conversation with the girl, she's immediately like, oh, they're trying to manipulate me. They're trying to do this. And it's like, girl, Kelley, ain't nobody worried about you like that, girl. It's not giving that at all.
Don't burn your bridges. Like,
literally.
Gosh, people, and as we've seen, like I said, whether it's the right strategy or not, people want to be around people that they want to live with, that they get along with. Like, that's the whole point almost, is that I've always viewed the game as a like almost entirely social, because I said this in the roundtable. I don't know if they aired it or not because I never watched it. But the last competition that you compete in is a social game. You want to be the most liked in the house. You want to have great relationships. You don't want these people to be like hating your guts. I just don't. I don't know. I don't get the point of that at all.
Exactly. But yes. Oh, y'all are spilling. So going into this eviction and next week, honestly, it is feeling like there's this war that's brewing, and it does feel like majority of the people on the blue side, the boys side, whatever you want to call it, with Rylie and Kelley and Katherine and Adrian and Keanu, majority of them, I would say all those people I just named, Rylie, Keanu, Adrian, Kelley, and Katherine, are very likely going to nom 3 people on the opposite side. And then on the opposite side with Rachel, Morgan, Ashley, Jimmy, Mickey, and Will, they're very likely going to nom 3 people on the opposite side as well. I will say the reason I have hope for my faves is I feel like Zach and Vince are the 2 people who I'm not confident will nominate 3 people on the opposite side, because Zach and Vince have discussed how much they hate Keanu, them specifically. I don't think Adrian will put up Keanu. I don't think Kelley will. Rylie and Katherine probably won't. But Zach and Vince, I do think might still put up Keanu, maybe even Kelley, because they're playing both. They're trying so hard to play both sides. I think everyone else will just attack the opposite side. And I think that's where and I don't know what Ava's going to do. And I think that's where we're kind of going at into this next week and into the eviction. It seems like the people on this side are talking about maybe trying to get Will out, but I don't think that's going to go anywhere because they're all passive, and plus they don't agree. Vince and Zach don't necessarily want Will to go, even over Kelley, which they talked about today. So it's like Will is probably staying regardless. And then that's kind of going to lose a number for this side anyways. And that's kind of what we're looking at going into the eviction episode. But we can get into these players. We can get into this player rater. We've done enough yipping. So last week,
child. I'm so
what's
sorry.
T? We got updates.
Girl, it says Zach, Mickey, Vince, Rachel, Morgan, Jimmy, alliance meeting and solidifying in the gym room.
What?
None of these people like each other.
Who's the name? Hold on.
Wait.
That sounded like the heavy hitters. Was that not the heavy hitters?
It's heavy hitters 2.0. They just add Mickey. It's Zach, Mickey, Vince, Rachel, Morgan, Jimmy.
So heavy hitters, but replacing Rylie with Mickey is now creating an alliance.
I'm kind of here for it.
And that's another reason why Zach and Vince are, I don't think Zach and Vince are just going to nominate those 3 sides.
I think that Zach and Vince, in my eyes, are more I would say Zach is, who knows where Zach is.
A little more over here type stuff.
A little bit more over there. Zach, I don't know where Zach is, but Vince, I think he's more on the left, even though they're a little bit more sussy of him and they see that he's a little bit more sussy. I think that in my eyes, he is more on that side.
Which makes sense because he's been the main one pushing his side to keep Will today. And then also he has a relationship with Morgan and Jimmy. Him and Jimmy have like this final 2 thing that they still both agree with. So that's interesting, but that's kind of what I was saying as we were exiting off. It's like most of this side is in agreement, but not all of them. While I feel like the other side has a bigger strategy of agreeing to go against all these other extra people who are kind of like less good players, and that's no shade, but we could get into it with the player rating. On the top we have last week and what we rated them last week, and then of course on the bottom we will have what we rated them this week. Now before we start, Leah, I do want to ask you, girl, because you let us know that you kind of have some favorites of the season. Who are your favorites? You kind of mentioned it here and there, but who would you say are like your top girlies that you're rooting for and you love this season? I do want to hear that.
I actually have my list. I have in order my list that I rated them today. So as far as who I like, personality wise for the and winning, to be honest. Number one for me is gonna be Mickey. She's my number one. She's been my number one. I think that she is very well liked. She's also not afraid to say what's on her mind, and I think that people respect her enough, and she is somewhat of a truth seeker, and I feel like people see that and they want to tell her the truth, to be honest. And I think that is a quality of a winner. That's why she is my number one. I also, if we're talking personality wise, not game wise 100%, because I would say game and personality, I'm loving Mickey. Personality, I'm going to go Ava's my number one personality higher, because she kind of just has the same, she's chronically online like me. I like that she is a self-sufficient queen. She's, you know, she reminds me of myself, to be honest. And so I like her. I really, well, if we're just talking girls, I would say I'm going to go after Ava, it's going to be Ashley.
Okay, cool.
Because I like the diva-ness about her, even though her and we come from, you know, different walks of life, I believe, from what I'm seeing. But I think she is hilarious in that way. And I sort of like it. And I like her for TV. I would love to see more of her. I don't want her to go yet. I think that I liked Amy a lot because she seemed, you know, lovable. Rachel, love. Then it's going to be Mickey for me. No, sorry. Morgan's after Rachel, the personality wise. And then I'm gonna go actually Kelley after that, which I know a lot of people have something. You know why? Because I think that she is determined, and even though she puts herself on the block every week, I don't know, something about her I like. And then after Kelley, it's gonna be Lauren, and then Katherine for me.
Not the girls.
I know, but you know what it is? Because I think that she is a dry person. I have a dry sense of humor too, but she needs to turn that charm back on because she's starting to lose people with the way that she kind of comes across. She sort of has like an RBF, and I think she's turning people off a little bit with that, and her personality. It's just not clicking the way that I want it. I want it to hit so hard. She's a server just like me. You know, people say that that's my daughter. I want to love, but she's not giving it to me the way that she needs to give it. She's kind of turning me off a bit with just the RBF situation. But I'm gonna say, as far as the girls go, I'm just Mickey and Ava.
Yes, and nobody cares about the boys. Nothing for them. Bye.
I rated everyone from what order I think that they'll be evicted in. I was right about Zay being the first two.
Ate that
up. Nobody else gets that. I did not think Amy was going to be second, but with how close in proximity that she was to Rachel. It was inevitable, to be honest. But yeah, I would also like to see a Rachel HOH. I
would too.
I really want HOH. I really, 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 I want Mickey, Ashley, or Rachel to bring it home for the girls this week. Like that would really I would love that for us. This work. I want to do this right. I don't want. I feel like I'm such a yapper that I don't want to take.
You're good. Don't even worry about it.
You're good. All I'm hearing is, if you were in this season, you would be on the right side of the house.
That's all that matters.
On the left side of the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. The left side of the screen.
Okay. What's crazy is for the top 5 that I think will make it to the top 5. Which we have a sneak in here. I'm sorry, but I just think he's gonna sneak his way through. I have Mickey, Ashley, Zach, Ava, and Rachel. I know the only reason I'm saying Zach is a sneak is because I fear he's gonna scoot through. It's a Keanu situation that we're talking about here. I think that he's someone that people are going to bring along. Why? Because I only put him there solely based on the fact that nobody is even mentioning putting him up. And why are
you're stealing?
Like, why aren't we talking about it? And it's because he's flying under the radar. Do I like it? No, I'll be honest. I'm not upset. But he's flying under the radar, and that's why he's going to go far.
Yeah. You're spilling. Now, I don't know about Ashley. I want Ashley to make it.
I know.
But that was I don't know.
I only think that because maybe in a Shield perspective, I feel like because people like that they can comfort themselves thinking that no one would choose her over them in the final two.
Yeah.
And that's something that people start to ruminate about. They're like, oh, me and this person, they would definitely choose me. So if they're keeping her as a target from week 1 virtually since Showergate, I also think that she's going to be winning here soon and able to get herself a little bit further. I want her to at least make jury, to be honest. Like, I would like to see her make jury. I have
very McKenzie. It could be very McKenzie, honestly.
You think? Yeah, I think she can win. I think that Mickey, I really want her to win soon. Like, Mickey, she was second place for the HOH. She's been coming she's like really, 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 really close. Like, and
okay.
I'm just scared about her telling people about her power. I'm like, no!
Oh my God, everybody know. Okay, wait. Because we're gonna get into it when we get to them individually. Because girl, everyone knows about Mickey's power. It's crazy. But we gotta go through these people. Let's go through these people. Now, what we do is we give them a number, Leah, 0 to 10, of how we feel like they're doing. If they're doing good, amazing, the best, they get a 10. If they're doing terrible, they get a 0 if you would like. And then we can also do 0.5. So if you feel like someone's giving like a 5.5, you can give them that. And we'll just quickly go through all the people, give them their rating, and then move forward from that. And then we can kind of talk about more of our specific thoughts of the people. Okay, boom. You ready?
Yes.
Yay! Okay, starting off with Amy because Amy went home. We just like quickly, what do you feel like Amy overall as a player gave? And it might be low, but you know, hey.
Well, I think that people described her as kind in the house and that they miss having her around. She was a personality hire, I suppose. I really wanted her to bring more puzzle pieces into that AI arena, but alas, we'll just give her a 2 because she tried. Because
you're being real. I do I do have to agree with the 2, and 2 might even be a little bit high. I think I'm gonna have to do a 1.5. I'm gonna give her a 2. I'm gonna give her a 2 for the accomplice of it all. She ate that accomplice up. You know, she did have
1 for her and 1 for the accomplice. You know,
she chose great allies because her allies damn near got her to stay multiple times in a row. Like, she could have potentially stayed against Adrian. I don't hate her, but yeah, 2. Lee,
I agree with the 2 as well. I feel like in general, I kind of feel bad for the early boots because it is really hard to rate them because it's like a lot of times they go home because of unforeseen circumstances.
Right.
I wouldn't say she was the most active player in trying to campaign for herself, which was a negative, but like you mentioned, she was able to get an alliance of people or a group of people that did want to protect her, at least for that first week. And then in the second week, it took 2 vetoes getting used for her to be a renom. And you could argue that Jimmy, that was not even a smart move for Jimmy, especially with the whole motherfucking other side of the house coming together against Jimmy and them. So I feel like it was a mistake to send her home. She should have even left last week. So I think the 2 is fair.
Yeah. And I think honestly, there's a word that she could have been higher if she would have not went home and there wasn't these twists and stuff like that. But it was just unfortunate. And she didn't do a lot of campaigning for herself. So I had to kind of slide her for that. Now within the game, last week we gave Keanu the worst rating. I gave him a 0. This week I'm going to go up a little bit on Keanu because I do feel like although he is still not the best player ever, he's not making the right choices. There's people who would nominate him. He thinks he's literally in the final 3 with them and he's not. So he's still not doing well. I just feel like because he's still in the game, he won the veto for himself. He's an active player. He's just not a good player. He's always doing something. It's just not always good. So I don't feel great about him, but I do feel like, I mean, girl, you might win a veto. You might not get targeted. Now the house is split, you know, potentially. So he has some room now that he didn't have. So, you know, I'm going to give him the 2 as well. Just like Amy. Lee.
Yeah, I feel like this week with Keanu, it definitely got better because the house is splitting. He has like a few people who will not put him up, but even in that split, you have people like Zach and Vince who still might because it's the easy option. He's always going to be the easy option, you know, and he's so ineffective as an active player that it does nothing for him. Like he was one of the main reasons why Adrian even went up.
It actually hurts him.
It actually hurts him, like so much so that Adrian was like, please don't campaign for me. Please, I beg you. You know, because he only makes things worse. So I'm going to go with the 2 as well. He can win comps, I guess, you know, well, 1 veto, you know. So we'll see if he's going to be able to last a few more. But at this point, I'm ready for Keanu and Kelley to go ahead and get up out of here so we can get to the real game.
Yeah, I got to bring him down to a 1.5 because you're right. He makes things worse for himself. Even if someone on his quotation side wins, I can see him pissing them off or doing something that ends up gets him on the block. And shit, they might put him on the block normally. It's a 1.5. Sorry, Leah, how you feeling?
It's just like, Mom, do I have to? Again, I'm happy that he won a veto. Great. Technically, too, because of Casey. Thank our comp queen, I suppose. I don't know. He's just not giving me what I need him to give. I wanted to like him so bad, like just off of first impressions, but then I saw the cast photo and what
I cannot with you.
Like I think I'm gonna go 1.5 as well. I think that he means well. I didn't understand the hate that he gets. But then I don't know. Like I think he's also kind of, and I hate to always bring Cam is one of my best friends, but like literally some of these guys, they're just like, we're here for the ticket.
Yeah.
He wants to take us through. Yeah. Also, yeah, I don't know. His beef with Jimmy alone, that already I'm just like, I don't know.
Girl, get him.
I guess.
Next we have
one's number one. There's no one that's like, Keanu is my number one.
Literally.
Because that was what he said his bromance with Zay or whatever it was, I guess.
Girl, and Zay was Zach's number one.
You're not anyone's, I don't know. Like, I get it.
He swear he knows so much about the game too, which is so scary. He's like, no one knows as much as I do. I have the best read on this game. Rachel's a floater. She doesn't know what's going on.
Keanu, please, Keanu. Wait, he's the dungeon master, and as a dungeon master, you know everything. This is actually something I just thought of, which I should have been thought of. The dungeon master has all of the control and awareness, and I feel like he just thinks that's what he's giving in this game. Sir, you are going home. That's what you're going to do. Kelley is
peace and blessing.
Kelley is next. We also gave her low scores, deserved. Lee, how do you feel about Kelley this week?
Child, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think Kelley sees herself as a real player because she keeps nominating herself.
That's why I gave her.
And this is a week where one of her closest allies won. She may not have put her up. Knowing Lauren, maybe. But Kelley, girl, you could at least fought for it. Instead, she's like, put me up. I'm fine. And it's like, if she's going to keep nominating herself, I can't go that much higher on her. So, because it's like, even if someone like freaking Vince wins, like, she's going to tell them to put her up. I feel like every single week she's going to tell them to put her up. So I have to give her the 1, girl. Until she stops telling people to put her up. I think the thing about Kelley, other than Keanu, she actually got these people to like her on the boys, Katherine, Lauren side of the game. Lauren likes her. Vince is annoyed by her, but I don't think Vince will go after her. Zach is fond of her. Keanu and Adrian likes her. Yeah. It's like she has connections, and if she were to not pawn herself, she could actually be doing something, but she refuses to do that.
Leah, how do you feel? Sorry, we start with the worst first, so don't.
Hey, I'm actually gonna go from, here's my problem. A lot of the problem is, number one, like we've discussed it a million times already. Who offers themselves to go up? Like, do you want to win or you want to go home? I don't know. I don't know. I've never understood that. Even when I was playing the game, when people would offer, I'm like, well, you guys enjoy. I wouldn't even, whenever they even sit near the block, whenever we're not in an eviction, I'd be like, Like, I did not touch that thing. I refuse to touch it. I refuse to manifest it. Anytime I'd be like, oh, who are you thinking of putting up? And someone's like, oh, this person's thinking about putting you up. I would physically be like, I do not want any chance of going home. That's what I don't like. But I feel like, unfortunately, there's a common theme that I'm not liking that isn't getting talked about enough. Nobody, when people come in and they're like, I want to be the next Tucker. I want to win all of these competitions. Number one, love Tucker, but he's not the number one compete in the world. He hasn't won the most competitions ever won. And also, why don't you want to be Kelley? Be Kelley. Why?
Be yourself.
And a part of me is like, the only way that I can logically think of why she is going and offering herself up is because she's thinking to herself, that's another competition that she can win to put on her resume. And that's such a scary way to play. And also I don't think she has a good social game. But she has won. She won her veto, she won her secret veto, and she won her blockbuster. So for that reason, I'm actually going to put her above Keanu at a 2, because at least she has somewhat of an idea of a group. They might keep her around. I don't know if I want this to happen, but in my head, for some reason, I think she's going to win the blockbuster again. And I don't know. Yeah. But we'll see.
And she could. She has the best track record so far. I think, like, as y'all were talking, I was thinking about giving her something higher than Keanu. I think she's a better player than Keanu in the sense that she has people who might actually be her allies. She can win more comps. But I just thought about it. She's probably going home this week. Or she could go home this week. Even against Will, Vince wants to evict her. Vince said, we're evicting her against Will, period. She's going home. Exactly. She has to win the blockbuster. So I'm like, 0.5. That's what I'm giving her. She nominated herself. She's probably going home.
0.5 is crazy.
0.5. She's not a 0. She's nominating herself and then she's complaining about it. She's trying to get people on the block that don't need to go on the block and aren't going on the block. I just don't understand what she's doing. And if she wins the blockbuster, that's what the 0.5 is for. But if she doesn't, she's going home.
Okay. Right.
Next is
herself.
Ashley, your sister Leah. Leah, how you feel about Ashley? Now, gameplay.
People were coming to me because I tweeted yesterday and was talking about, because she made a comment about the servers and that she was kind of, I don't know, she made a comment. And for me, that's never about hating on her. It's just that idea that I'm not obsessed with. Because as someone who's worked in hospitality for 11 years, I'm always like, you're wrong. And I love being underestimated. So when people say that kind of stuff, I'm like, whatever. But do I think that number one, I like that when she vents, she gets personal, because I do the same thing and I think it's funny. And I like to watch it. And I know that we would be friends and I would love to talk shit with her. So I'm obsessed. I'm honestly going to give her, I know people have what they want to say and they're like, she is this or that, or she's entitled, or she's, which I see these things. But also, I think that from my perspective in the house, that hasn't hurt a lot of people far along in the game. Like, people say they care about certain things and they roll it off their back, because at least she's fun to be around and she's someone that people confide into and trust. And like, I even heard, like her and Rachel were in the storage room today talking about how they're not really obsessed with Morgan and how they think Morgan's fake and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, guess what? No matter what you guys say about Ashley, all of you guys are still somehow telling her all of your information. And for that, I have to stand. I'm going to give her a 4.
Period. All that 4, as you should. As you should. No, honestly, I thought I was gonna have to gag you and be like, girl, you got some Stan goggles on. You low-key, she's low-key not eating. But you kind of ate, because now Ashley was the biggest person in danger this week other than the nominees. She damn near went up at the grace of God. She saved herself, literally God, because Mickey had to pray with Lauren to make sure she didn't get put up. But she went to work. She was up in the HOH room early last night, the morning before that. Like, she was in the HOH room, girl, giving her all of the tea. I would never put you up. Honestly, like, it doesn't even have to be me or Adrian. Who else? Like, she was ready to throw anybody under the bus in a way to, like, save herself. She went to work. And I'm very impressed by the fact that she was kind of able to help herself not get on the block. Plus, although she talks shit about all her allies be going to bat for her down, Henny. Like, Morgan was in that room. No matter how many times Ashley done said Morgan's name, clearly it has not gotten back to her. One.
Nope.
And two, Morgan was in that room like, girl, you don't need to put up Ashley at all. I mean, do what you want, but don't put up Ashley. Like, that's damn near what she was saying. So she had people go to bat for her. She saved herself this week. And honestly, like, I have to commend her for saving herself this week. Like, I do feel like she's not in a great position. If the other side wins the House, they will nominate her potentially and all of that, yada, yada, yada. But for the positive this week that she did to make sure she didn't go on the block, she's literally not vulnerable. And most likely Kelley or Adrian are probably going home. Like, girl, you're kind of good. And Lauren was the HOH. Somebody on that side was the HOH, and y'all still good. So I'm gonna give her her cute 4. And I agree with the 4. I'm gonna give her the 4.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with the 4 this week as well, child, because I just feel like she did what needed to be done. It reminds me so much. It's funny because her and Chada are friends, but it reminds me of when Hannah and BB23 kind of got Christian to not want to target her that one week based off of their own connection and conversation that she was having. It's like I love that she was so active in going to Lauren and making sure Lauren knows that you can trust me. I won't put you up. I've always liked you. Like, you can use this relationship. And like you said, like, it's very impressive that even though people don't like her, that they still want to go to bat for her. They're still telling her information, like Leah said. It's like there's so much that Ashley is privy to, even though she is still kind of an outlier. Like, it's interesting. And also what I've noticed is, I think when it comes to the Girls and the Gays Alliance, I feel like what they really just like to get shit off their chest. Like, they're not going to turn on each other. I think that they just like when something comes to their mind, more than a little funny acting.
It's kind of like a friend group in a way. It's kind of like a friend group, like, girl,
what Morgan doing over here with Zach? Like, what's that tea? Like, I feel like they're just gonna express it, but they know who the real enemies are. And Ashley, I believe at first I was scared with Ashley. I was like, child, Ashley finna nominate Mickey and Morgan. But now I feel like Ashley, she knows who's the side that she has to go after, and I enjoy that. So I feel like the 4 is fair for this week.
I'm obsessed. And I also think, like, just to add to that, I mean, I have quite a few, like, gay besties. They're literally like, I call them my brothers. Period. We fight. Like, we literally, I was just on vacation with them, like, literally tell you all about yourself, and then it's like, my brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love that dynamic. I love that dynamic. And I think that little banter is really good for their social relationship.
It's very relatable, and I genuinely think, like, because I was watching the feeds at one moment, it was kind of slow with the strategy talk, and there was like Mickey and Jimmy were like bickering back and forth, and some of the girls on Twitter who kind of don't get it, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. If you get it, you get it. But the girls on Twitter don't get it. They're like, why did she say that? And da 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 da. Like, girl, they're gagging. What are you doing? And like, the girls gag. Rachel and Jimmy gag. Ava be gagging with them. Mickey be gagging with them. Ashley and Morgan do it a little different way, I will say. They kind of gag behind the doors, but yeah.
That's different. No, but for me, like, I would love to, I'm looking forward to when he comes out to kikiing with him. A lot of people missed out on me and Chemo's relationship because everyone thought that Chemo, like, everyone's like, oh, Chemo was furniture. He didn't do it. He had a personality, but I think they cut the feeds for a lot of it because his personality wasn't meant to be aired, because he and I would have a lot of inappropriate kiki conversations. But he is so funny, and it's the same kind of shit. Like, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed in every way. And if you don't,
you don't get it. You don't get it.
Child. Next is the real furniture, Rylie. You might call him a bull. I don't know what he is, but he's not a Big Brother player. He's not in the game. Girl, there is quite literally nothing to say. He is after my queens, and that's all he has on his mind, is that the queens need to go, and he thinks he's cute for that, and he's not doing anything. He doesn't want to play the game. He got kicked out of Heavy Hitters while we speak, as we speak. Please.
Hey!
So I'm gonna give him what am I gonna give? I gave him 3. I don't even know why I gave him fucking 3. I'm gonna give this man a 0. The fuck is you doing other than throwing your game away for matter of fact, 0. I said it. Declared.
Right.
Period. How y'all feeling? Lee, how you feeling?
I mean, I don't
quickly.
really like Rylie. I feel like Rylie just doesn't do anything for me. And it annoys me that someone like Rylie can be in this game, not do anything, and can still be part of a group. That's why I'm not going to go that low. I'm actually going to stick with the 3 because he does have a group around him. He has a whole side of the house that is not going to put him up under any circumstances. And if we're talking about Mickey, Morgan, Ashley, they don't dislike Rylie. They never say anything negative about Rylie. While Rylie is over here trashing them, saying how much he doesn't like them and things like that, they don't speak negatively on him at all. So unfortunately, I feel like Rylie is going to be here for a while. I'm only giving him the 3 because even though he's really in a good position, he's not doing anything with it. He's just there. Like, he's getting kicked out of alliances. He's not actively working on any relationships, even though people like him. And I can't respect that.
Yeah. Period. Leah, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm honestly right there. I'm actually right there. I'm actually gonna go 2.5 for Rylie, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think that he earns a brownie point solely based on a live feed that I saw today of all of the house guests were looking at the memory wall, my favorite pastime, my dream date. And like looking at the memory wall, and they're like, oh, first impressions, whatever. And everyone who was in the HOH room had great things to say about Rylie. And I'm like, are we watching the same person? Like, are we looking at the same person? Because Rylie loves Katherine, match made in heaven. Don't know how they haven't been on the block yet. Don't know how he hasn't been on there. Him avoiding it gets him a brownie point for me because I would have been targeted him.
Period. I think he is really likable, like within the confines of the
like a lot kinder than they thought. Like, they thought he was going to come on and be this kind of what people are painting him to be, and then he surprised them with that. So just for people speaking of him in that way, like he's going to be around a little. I think he'll last a little longer than Katherine. I think they're going to be back to back. I don't know who's going to go first, but I think they're going to be back to back.
Let's pray, but it's soon. Next we have Adrian. I got a lot to say. Lee, you go first because I know this show arch nemesis.
So this is how I feel about Adrian. Let's get the positives out of the way, because the situation this week, Mickey dropped a lot of tea on Adrian, specifically about how she felt about Zach, Vince, and Morgan, and how she feels like they're together. And she was speaking on how I want me, you, Adrian, Ava, Will, Ashley to kind of have each other's back because we don't know about these people who are kind of playing the middle. And Adrian, I thought this was going to be a good conversation because Adrian was also distrusting what's his name? Vince.
Yeah.
So I thought it could be a good thing. Now, I'm not going to put like all the blame on Adrian and just be biased because I don't think Mickey was smart for sharing the information. I also don't think it was smart for Mickey to go to the HOH and then campaign against him. Now, this is where it gets confusing for me. I don't know if Adrian knew about Mickey pushing him before he spilled the information, but I don't think he did. I actually don't think he knows to this day. I have no idea though. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel like it was smart for him to just drop all of this information because it did get back to Morgan. It got back to Morgan, and that could potentially get back to Mickey. And that won't be good for him, especially this week when he's trying to get a vote. I think my main thing with Adrian is not that he ratted out Mickey, more so what is the end goal that you have? Like, what are you gaining from doing that? Because it's not a relationship with her. You know what I mean? Right. And like, it feels like he shares his entire game with people like Zach. And Zach doesn't give him much of anything. In fact, Zach runs and tells Vince and Morgan the things that he's saying. You know what I mean? It's like the information that Mickey gave you is very important because the Zach, Vince, and Morgan alliance is a strong one. I don't think that they're going after each other, and they're all three playing both sides to an extent. So instead of you actually taking the information and seeing it for what it is, you're now taking it and running it back to the people so that they can, shift their game and potentially get this target off their back. I mean, they just created an alliance with Mickey and Jimmy, and you're not in it, Adrian. So I'm like, I'm just curious as to what the end goal for him will be. I don't really, I see him going far, but it's like I don't see him necessarily winning at this point. But it depends. It definitely depends. And I also just don't love this like moral high ground that he's putting himself on. I don't like liars, and I'm gonna go after the liars in the game. And then he starts saying stuff like, "Oh, you don't need to go after Mickey because Mickey's gonna blow up." And if Ashley goes off on you, I'm gonna stand in the middle and defend you. And it's just like, what are you talking about, sir? Like, it's so weird for a player like Adrian who was in a position to where he could have played all sides of the game. The player that I thought he would be based off his preseason interviews gave me that he would play in that manner. And he's chosen a side of people and is now on this high ground of, I'm not gonna lie, and yet you are lying. Like, yet it kills me when people say that because you're in a game where that's the point.
It's inevitable.
How you're playing the game, you're playing the game. Exactly. So it's just like, I don't get it.
Child, what you rating him? What you feel?
Child, the rating, he's on the block. And he got nominated by a person who should not have even nominated him. And none of his campaigning worked on her. And he's currently campaigning and more so grilling people about lying rather than playing the game. Like, I could see how, and this is what I thought at first. Him saying, I hate liars. I thought it was like a reverse psychology thing where by the end of the game, people can be like, he's so noble and he's so honest, so we deserve to vote him. But I think it's going to have the negative effect. People are now being like, why are you walking around here saying how much
we don't want you in jury? Because what are you talking about?
Like, that's not a good jury member and things like that. So I don't think nothing's working for him, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and give him the 3. And I'll give him the 3 because I feel like he could win Blockbuster.
Real. Leah, how you feeling, child?
I will say he, in my eyes, was just so much more, this is going to be a summary of what you guys have said, but it's like he was so well positioned in the beginning, and I had faith. I had faith in this man. Why? Because he comes in, he says he's a super fan, and he comes in and honestly is well liked. He's doing it for his family. He seemed, like he really put it upon himself and drug himself into this nightmare. He should have never been one of the continuously thought of people to be put up. Like, he should be sitting pretty like how Zach is sitting, in my opinion. But instead, he took a wrecking ball to all of it. Why? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I feel like I honestly, at least in my opinion, Kelley, to me, he's just when I'm looking at this group of people again, as far as who are you doing this for? I don't know. Because I feel like he had a group and then now that's kind of dissolved. And I don't think, but for me, I honestly didn't even know a lot of the stuff that you guys are talking about because he's lost my interest as he's not one of my faves. I don't know. I've kind of thought maybe he'll be the first jury member at the max if he doesn't get booted this week. So I don't know. I and also those things that he said, I don't like that because it's what do you mean? Oh, Mickey's gonna pop off.
Right. So who said that? But yeah.
Anyway, I'm not obsessed with him. I'm gonna go probably again another 2.5. Sorry for the guys are not
real. You're spilling. I'm giving him a 2.5 as well. Actually, I'm giving him a 2. I think he's actively playing bad. And whenever someone does that, I can't feel highly about you. He's choosing to align with Kelley and Keanu in front of everyone. You're a super fan, first of all. Shame on you. I'm already more upset with you because actually I'm going to go down to the 1.5. I'm upset with you. I wanted to actually support him because he was one of the only super fans. There's only 2 super fans this season. He's one of them. Why are you acting like this? what the fuck is going on? So I just don't enjoy that. I don't love the way that he's choosing to work with a group of people and like setting himself up to be this rotated nominee. The reason he was even a consideration for Lauren is because Lauren knows that everyone thinks he's with Kelley and Keanu, and she knows that that's going to be something that he's already associated with, and no one's going to be mad if he's not, because he put himself in this corner with Kelley and Keanu when he didn't have to. There were so many other people who he actually had relationships with, like Mickey, who was trying to build one with him. Rachel tried to build one with him at a point, and then she stopped because he wasn't really giving her anything. Like he chose this fate, and that's why I have to give him 1.5. Y'all said everything else. It's a shame. And just to speak on the verbiage as well, not just Adrian, so many people, like even Lauren, I have to get on her ass because she's like talked so much about how she's afraid, and she's like, I'm so scared of Mickey, and I'm so scared of Ashley. Like if I put her up, she's gonna probably pop off. And then that led to Adrian being like, well, if she does that, I'm gonna have to protect you. Protect her? Who is Ashley? A big burly man? Like Ashley, like she is like, girl, she's from the bougie neighborhood, the suburbs. Ashley's not gonna do nothing. So I just feel like this verbiage just feels a little bit weird when they use the verbiage towards certain house guests, because in my opinion, no one has shown that they're the type to do anything like that other than Jimmy. And they're not saying they're scared of Jimmy. So it's like Jimmy's the only one who's popped off, or Keanu.
And Rachel.
And Rachel, it's like Jimmy, Rachel, Keanu, they.
Where is that comment for Rachel? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And even Katherine, to be honest.
Even Katherine, like, with this stone cold face. And it's like, y'all are more claiming fear from people who haven't shown it. So.
I understood in the game, like, even for me, like, I, you know, for lack of a better term, like, maybe I won't say it, but like P word out my HOH. And like, because, you know, I feel like I get what they're saying in terms of, I personally, if I were in the game right now, would be intimidated by Rachel, Katherine,
right,
and Mickey mainly. I don't think Ashley, but I think like I see that they have dominant personalities, that they are confrontational. I respect that though. Like I would rather someone be like that, and that's how Chelsea was such like someone who, like, even if you meet her in person, like especially in the game though, because now she's obviously a lot more lax, but it's like when you're in that environment, and like she's someone who is like not afraid to just be on you and tell you exactly about yourself, or tell you a complete lie and make you believe it. Like she was just very much like a dominant personality, and I was intimidated by her, and probably maybe her only in the game. Like she was the only person that I was like, this person can check me hard, and I am scared. But at the end of the day, though, these people, whenever they're talking about Mickey like that, Mickey's like she's like a Teddy. She has a hard exterior. She's an Aries. She's an Aries. You know what I mean? Like they're babies internally. It's honestly rude, and it is. I see what people are saying online. You know, I don't want to cause too much conflict or put any words in anybody's mouth, because I didn't see the fights that you guys are talking about. But it's not a good look. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I think it's. I was just gonna say, I think it's one thing to say, oh, like that's a direct person, I'm intimidated, or I'm scared that she's gonna.
Yeah, right. Like put it from that perspective. You're intimidated that they're playing a good game, or that they are a dominant personality. Exactly. You know, like I even felt like for just to use on my season Chelsea, for example, because she is so intelligent and good with her words, that I would slip up on my words talking to her, because I knew it was something that she was analyzing about me. Say it like that. Don't say it like they're gonna fight you. They're literally ladies. Right. This is a lady that you're talking about.
Like, and that's where it gets like weird, because it's like pop off and go off and start yelling. Like,
where are you getting that from?
Right.
Where are you getting that from? But y'all are spilling, and I'm glad you brought up Chelsea, because I do feel like what it is, and I've been saying this throughout the season, that grouping of people on that side of the house, including Jimmy, Rachel, Morgan, Mickey, all of them, they are more honestly dominant personalities. They put it on the floor. And this other side of people, I think this is a personality divide that I'm noticing. The house is a personality divide. There is a group of people who are more dominant personalities. They put it on the floor. They're not afraid and scared of everything. No shade. And then I do think this other grouping of people are scared. They've said it multiple times. They're afraid. They're scared. And they're passive. We've seen it in their gameplay. And I think the gameplay shows it all. This group of people has more dominant gameplay, which is why Ashley's not on the block. This group of people has a more passive gameplay. And I feel like if you are a passive person, I would see why you would be afraid of a dominant person. I get it. But it's like, use your verbiage correctly, because like you said, what's his name? Adrian was like, I'm going to have to intervene if she tries to do something. Intervene? What is she going to do? Hit her? What are you talking about?
Like, that's never happened also. Like, I just...
Like, what?
Just...
Where are you getting this from?
And it's like, as a man, oh, you're going to step in and save the day? Like, do me a favor.
You a boy. Saying boy business. But moving on to...
Focus on your boy problems. King.
Like, what? Moving on to Kat, though. Leah, how do you feel about Kat in the game? Ciao.
Guys, I really wanted to root for what everyone is saying is my twin. I wanted to so bad. You're not gonna like this. She hasn't won anything. Her social game is not there. What she does have seems to be an ally with Lauren, and Rylie, obviously, but to be honest, the other people in the game I have not heard incredible, amazing things. One
quick second. Earlier today, Zach said, Lauren, we should make an alliance with Kat. And Lauren said, no, I don't want to work with her.
See, that's the problem. Work with everyone. Say yes to everyone. This is Quinn used to say that to me too all the time. He's well, if anyone asks you for a final two, you should say yes. And granted, I was a little bit more selective of who I wanted to work with, but you can't be that selective. Like, who are you to say, babe? You're not in a place to make decisions. I'm gonna go 0.5.
Yeah. You're spilling so bad. I see her and Rylie similarly, and honestly, it's worse for her because Riley's actually liked by people. And I gave him 0 based off me not liking him. But with Kat, they don't like her. Like, fuck me, they don't like her. Like, none of them really like her, including Lauren, who she was supposed to be close.
And that's what the game is. Like, we can't sit here and say that like that's not what the game. That's exactly what the game is, and not being well liked is really not. You're not going to go far, unfortunately.
You're not going to go far. And she's someone who multiple people on both sides have said they don't want in the jury phase of the game. They don't trust her with a vote. Even Vince and Zach, I feel like, are inclined to potentially not give a fuck if she goes home. Like, they're not in any groupings. She's in no alliances. She's the only person in the house. Damn near even Kelley and Keanu damn near have more alliances than her. Like, she's in nothing. No one prioritizes her. I don't know who she talks to all day. It's very, very bad for her. I think she's going to go home very soon. I'm going to give her the 0.5 as well. Honestly, I should just give her the 0. She's not doing shit. No, I'm gonna give her 0.5 because Rylie will literally beg to be nominated instead of her. I think the only reason she might not go home is because Rylie is going to beg them to make sure that he goes home instead of her. So I will give her a 0.5 for that power of the power of the Kunchi. Yeah, but Lee, how you feel?
She got that one little thing. She got that one little thing.
Yes.
Y'all are ruthless tonight, child.
Hey,
Ooh. I mean, I don't know about like a score necessarily, only because I'm thinking of like the sides, and I'm like, I think Rylie, Keanu, Kelley wouldn't put her up. But I know before this week happened, Zach even mentioned her as a potential nom. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I think similar to Kelley and Keanu, she's heavily protected by, the divisiveness of the sides. But I also feel like as soon as Ashley win this next HOH, Rachel or Mickey win this next HOH, she's going up. And she could easily go home because people are not really vibing with her like that at all. So I'm not going to be as low as y'all, child. But I am going to go with the 2.
Period. Good for you.
Next, we have Captain Will, who I love in my heart, but in the game, he's pissing me off. He is not going home again. Although every time he's nominated, that man is not going home. He is very great socially within the game. Even people on the quotations opposite side want him to stay. So that's obviously a clear indication that he's a good player. And I do think he's good, but he is nominated. And the way he talks when he's nominated is a little bit defeated. I will say this week, he's not doing it as much as he's slightly let off on that a little bit. I think it's because he's noticed, not even because I think he's noticing the sides, and he's had conversations with the people on his side, and he's like, girl, it's fuck them. So I think he's becoming more comfortable in the fact that this is what's going on. I think at first he didn't know. I think that's why he was like, y'all just targeting the old man. Girl, that's not what's happening. I don't think he understood, but now he kind of knows, oh, it's this side versus this side. So he's doing a little better, but the man is on the block again. I don't love that. I do think he's staying, but he could be. They're trying to take him out. They're trying, and I don't like that for him. So I'm going to give him a 3 this week. I think he's doing fine, but I'm scared for him. Lee, quickly, or how you feel about Will?
Don't rush me. Quickly.
I know, right? I said quickly. I didn't really mean to.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Well, take your time then, Queen.
Basically, with Will, I agree with a lot of things you said. I'm happy that he's like really starting to wake up. I like that. I like that part is happening. Like he's a part of a side, you know, and he still has connections with people like Will, like not Will, like with Zach and Vince and things like that. And I see him as someone that could be potentially a perpetual pawn for like the boys side of the game. However, if he can make it past this week, I think he's set on not going home for sure. Now I'm scared about this week still, child. But I do feel like if he can get past this week, then he will definitely be in a position to where there's so many other targets in front of him that he will be good. But I still think he could be a pawn for a lot of people, and I don't love that. So I agree with the 3. And I just want him to really go in with the campaigning. Like I need to see him talking to people because Adrian is not a good campaigner and Kelley doesn't even talk to people. So if Will goes and have like some deep ass conversations with people and tell them that I'm not going after you, I think people like Katherine and Rylie would even be open to working with him or trying to save him. Like, because he is in such a, I think he can be perceived as in a neutral position, you know, even though he has a side, I think people could see him in that spot and he needs to work within that a little bit more. So I really want him to like lose the, like, you know, the sadness that he has around the situation that he's in, because truly, like, it's not the end of the world. Like, you have so many outs. You have a group of people that's fighting for you and that is literally willing to go to a tie vote just to keep you in the game. So I just want him to go out there and really fight for himself, because I think sometimes he loses it. And I understand it because you're the oldest man in the game. Big Brother isn't the best sometimes with casting a lot of older representation in the season, and he's expressed that himself, and I get that. It's just, you know, you can't let that be the reason why you don't fight in the game. Like, go out swinging regardless.
And if he's not nommed, I think I can't wait to see him not nommed. He's been nommed twice, so I think he'll shift, but who knows? Leah, how you feel?
I'm honestly, I mean, I love Will so much. Like, he's one of my favorites, but I agree with the defeated feelings and thoughts and vocalizing them and sort of self-sabotaging, because I watched Kenny do this. Kenny was like one of my favorites. I mean, he was one of my allies in the game, I would say, in the very beginning. And I watched him do a similar thing where it's like, Kenny, listen. And Kenny was winning things. Like, he won like one of the hardest vetoes that I've literally ever seen. I could have never done that. And he is a competitor. Like, he's a real, you know, these guys they're fit, they're in shape, they're capable, they're mentally there. Don't psych yourself out or count yourself out because you're with a bunch of young teeny boppers. I'm over it. I will say though, I do love Will. If last week I tweeted, like, if he goes home, like, I'm shutting the TV off. Honestly, I feel the same way. I would keep him, and I agree he'll probably inevitably end up being a pawn. I hope not, but that's sort of what happens. I'm going to give him a 3.5. I like him. I see that I really hope he doesn't go home this week. He's not on my list to go home this week. I don't see it happening. I think it's either going to be Kelley or Adrian. If he goes home, I'm mad.
Season over.
It's over. But I don't know. I like him. Also, please don't kill me. I have to use the restroom so bad. Can
Oh,
I
girl,
take
you fine, girl. Go pee.
a quick little commercial break here, and I will be right
As you
right.
should. Period. We love liver hygiene, but yes, Jimmy is next. Lee,
You just be saying anything.
how do you feel about Jimmy, child?
Child, Jimmy, the thing
He
about
in Heavy
Jimmy,
Hitters 2.0?
he in Heavy Hitters 2.0, girl. Is that a real
Mhm.
alliance? Well, and that's the good thing about Jimmy. He's a very active player, just like a lot of the girls and the gays on that side of the house. He's gonna go out and he's gonna have the conversations. I just don't like how much of an outlier that he's becoming. Like, because of like this new Heavy Hitters 2.0, people like Morgan, Mickey, Rachel, Zach, Vince, even though they don't necessarily love him, they're not gonna target him. You know what I mean? Because he's so active in making these relationships. People like Rylie, Katherine, they're not even focused on him. They're more focused on Mickey, Morgan, Rachel, Ashley. So I think he has a few outs. The issue is he doesn't have enough ins with people. And I think that's my problem. Like, no one is really prioritizing Jimmy right now. And I feel like that's going to lead him to being collateral. He's also someone where it's like, because he's such a threat, if he is on the block, depending on who he's next to, he could go. So I think a lot of that is up in the air. However, I do feel like there's enough people in front of him as a target to where he won't necessarily be the first one out of that group. Like, I do think he could be one of the safest, other than Rachel, if that side wins, unless there's a renom option. But even then, they're looking at Morgan and Mickey more than him right now. At least that's the name that are being said.
Now Ashley's not going home, so that's
right. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna give him the 5.
You're so right.
I think I feel comfortable giving him the 5. Like, his position is shaky, but like I said, I think there's enough people in front of him, and people are not saying his name in a negative manner as much. So
you spilled. Hey Leah, welcome back.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I was trying so hard to hold it in. Normally I'm the queen of holding it in, but I couldn't do it this time.
You're real. You're real.
Next. Oh no, not next. We're still on Jimmy. Oh, last week I gave Jimmy a 4, and the reason was that I felt like as soon as he wasn't HOH, he was going to control it. And I do think he controlled it. He spent all week regaining his social bonds with the people on his side. Although they're still a little bit irritated, they already are like more comfortable. Like, they're comfortable with the Heavy Hitters 2.0, and they start talking as much shit as him. And they've been talking to him all week and gagging with him all week. And I feel like because he made that push towards Lauren and Katherine being cool with them all last week, it seemed like it was gonna have more of a negative effect than it did positive. And I feel like although it wasn't fully positive and it was still a lot of negative, it's kind of what helped to keep him comfortable this week for him to be able to push his agenda to Lauren, which her allies weren't doing. And then also he was still able to chill with all his friends and regain those social bonds. He kind of got a week to control it. And by the end of this week, he's making a fake alliance again. So he's always been the most active. All week, he's like, we need to make another alliance. We need to make this another alliance. Let's do this other alliance. He kept telling Mickey and Morgan that, and they don't want to do it. And so he's like, fuck it, I'll do it. And I really think he's probably the one who was the most aggressive about making a new bond, a new group or something. And by the end of it, he's now re-protected in a way. And he always has had good relationships with Vince and with Kat and with Lauren on the other side. So I do think he's viewed as in the middle. If someone on that other side gets HOH, it wouldn't even be smart from their perspective to put up Jimmy, because from their perspective, Jimmy's close with Kat. Jimmy's close with Lauren. We shouldn't put him up. We should put up Ashley because she hates us. We should put up Mickey because she hates us. We should put up Morgan because she doesn't fuck with us. I think he's going to be pretty safe, which is why I gave him the 4 last week. I'm giving him the 5 this week. He's doing good. He just has to do better because he's still in danger, girl. Leah, how you feeling?
I'm shocked at how well he came back from being so vocal and playing so hard in the very beginning. Like, him being able to pop off on Keanu and go off and do his whole thing. I don't even know what's going on. RuPaul is shaking. He is shockingly setting himself up for a path that looks like it might last longer than I initially thought. I thought that because he is so, such a strong personality. And unfortunately, whenever I've watched Big Brother, I at one point almost stopped watching because it seemed like all of my faves go in the beginning because they're all the people with strong personalities, and then you end up with like the final four and it's like freaking saltine crackers. Like, what are we talking about?
I'm bored.
Where's the flavor? Like, there's never any personality left. Like, what are you guys even talking about? Is anyone laughing anymore? Like, I feel like the funny personality, cool, goofy people, they boot because they know they're too likable. With him, he feels insulated. He feels good. I feel like the ladies' eyes are shifting towards other people. Like, and like you said, I feel like now he's put himself in a good position. I've watched him do the have not thing, and he's doing it with Katherine. And it feels like he's doing a good job of making everyone forget any mess that he's made. And he somehow was still safe with his HOH even after, like, nobody's even thinking about anymore that he just got out Rachel's closest ally. Like, no one's even talked about that anymore. Like, we're on to other news. For that alone, I'm going to go with you guys on the 5 scale, to be honest. And that's the highest rated person and man in the game. But he seems well insulated. And for that, I commend him, to be honest.
Period. Next. What?
I want a little more. I want him to be his self, and because I think he's already entertaining is the thing he doesn't understand is that he doesn't. He's just already naturally entertaining.
But it's giving fabricated. No shade.
You don't have to be Jasmine Kennedy.
Next, you said Jasmine Kennedy is giving that.
I said you don't have to be Jasmine Kennedy.
Oh my God!
He used her quote.
Stealing her lines. Why is he stealing her lines?
No, but did you guys actually see the TikTok though of them comparing it side by side? I was literally shook. Oh, my light just went. No. But
no, I didn't see the TikTok.
Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna send it to you guys after this. Like, you're going to be, you're not even gonna believe to the level that it is. It's not normal.
Period. Come on, Light. Oh, you eat that up. Anyways, Lauren is next. Girl, she the main culprit this week, baby. Leah, take it away. How do you feel about Lauren this week?
I actually had such higher hopes for her in her game. I thought that she was kind of going to be similar to me in the way that she lies low, does her thing, and lies low in the way that she's lying low to the outside and not internally. I didn't realize that she didn't have a grasp of her own game, and for that reason, I'm kind of disappointed because I really thought she was going to go in there and kind of be like, oh, and know what she wanted. But I know that it's also still early in the game. I understand that, but I wish that she wasn't relying on others to make decisions for her, like we've previously discussed. I was kind of turned off by her being like, nobody's telling me what to do. And it's like, I mean, this is a self-sufficient, one person can win. Nobody's going to make the decisions for you. But if you want them to, you're not going to be the winner. I'm disappointed with that, but I do think that she might get out of this HOH unscathed because she played it safe. She might be rewarded for that, or it could tank her game just because people don't trust her as a decision maker and jury. And I don't know if she won because she's a good competitor or if she won because she is playing a 50-50 game and it's luck of the draw. So I don't know. I'm going to go... Let me think of her allies really quickly, and then I'll give you a See, that's the thing is, like, her and Kat kind of have been playing this game where we don't really know where you guys stand, babe. And yeah, Zach has a crush on you, but is that he's not? Zach is not Rylie, and Zach is not the type to throw his game away for a girl. It seems like he's using the rake technique to sort of use the women around him as shields, and we've seen it done before. I don't think she's as protected as she could be, to be honest. But I don't know if she's anyone's necessarily number one target. But I don't know. I'm not enthused. I'm just kind of bored. I'm gonna go. If she would have put up Ashley, I would have respected it more because that's what she wanted to do. I wish she would have done what she wanted to do. So I'm gonna go 2-5, 3. Yeah.
Okay, get Gagger. You spilled everything you said. Plus, I just feel like this week. Now, I do think by default she'll have the safe. First of all, I think she would have been safe regardless. No one is looking at you as a target. No shade, queen. So I think she would have been safe regardless. I think after she talked herself into this indecision all week and everyone was vying for her vote and we're going to protect you, I think by the end of all of that, like I said earlier, she probably shouldn't have put up Ashley, but I think she should have put up Ashley before all of that even happened. And I really don't like this decision for her. I really think this decision really gave everyone on the other side leverage to take over the game and kind of leave her out of it. I do think she's going to be less prioritized moving forward in the game by a lot of people. I really hated this move for her. And I wasn't even going to go that low, but I think what I really don't like is that this showed that she will never win this game. But this, maybe not. I don't want to say never, but it showed that her chances of winning this game are greatly diminished because people don't value her as her independent self. So many people have said, well, she's going to tell, well, obviously she said she doesn't know what to do and I need help to find out what to do. And she told everyone that. So everyone now perceives her as someone who needs to be told what to do. And she probably will actually need to be told what to do in the future, which is not good. But also when it comes to her strategy outside of this, first of all, like you said, she wanted Ashley up and she still didn't do it. But also when Zach is coming to her with, let's try this, let's do this, she's saying no. You don't have an alliance. You don't have a group. And you put up your only alliance that you could have had. The bond should have been a solidified thing, but you put up 2 bond members. So not only do you not have alliance, you ruined your alliance. The potential alliance you could have had with people you trust. I trust Adrian. Why'd you put him up? Queen and Kelley and Keanu. Well, she don't trust Keanu, but and Kelley. Terrible week. Terrible HOH week. I have to get on her ass for that.
Similar mistakes to me, and I'm like, ooh,
like so many mistakes. And the nail in the coffin for me is denying the alliance afterwards. When Zach's like, let's build something, and she says no. What the fuck are you gonna do? You just showed the other side that you don't really fuck with them because you low key wanted to put up Ashley. Now you don't want a group. Girl, bye. You're going home. I was probably going to give her like a 4.5 or maybe even a 5, but I'm going to give her a 3.5. Girl, you did too many mistakes. It was very, very bad. If she loses the game, this is probably the week why. Like, if she loses the game because people don't trust her, this is probably the week. If she loses the game because they don't want her in jury because she's indecisive, this is probably the week. She loses the game at final 2 because they don't respect her game, this is probably the week. You fucked your game up. You lost. Super fan.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's my biggest fear for her. At the end of the day, like, I think her playing passively isn't necessarily the issue. It's her going out of her way to talk about how she needed help with this decision. The fact that she was in the HOH room with hours with Vince and Zach, it just made it very apparent that her decisions are not her own, especially when she's telling every nominee that she trusts them and she doesn't want them to go home. Then why are you putting them on the block? There's a very clear side that she could be going against, and she didn't want to. Now, I want to give her something because I think the goal she wanted, which is to still be between 2 sides, is what she got. Okay. No one she nominated this week is mad at her for it. Surprisingly, shockingly, crazily, none of the 4. Will a little bit. Will for sure. But Keanu, Kelley, and Adrian are not mad at her and is not targeting her. And I don't think Will is targeting her either. And the girls, while they don't respect her, they're not going to go after her. Now, I will say there was one conversation. They were like, if she do this, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But she didn't do it. So I do feel like in a way she got what she wanted. Now, is what she wanted was best for her game? I don't know. But it wasn't a great HOH week, but oddly enough, it does feel like she's pretty safe for a while still. Like, I can see her still being in the end game, which is crazy. It's just how much respect are you going to get in the end game? You know, especially her winning this early HOH. I can see her winning more competitions. And it's like, girl, if this was your decision with freaking 19 people in the house, what you going to do when there's 5 people in the house, girl? You know,
herself, child.
Self-evict me.
Yes. Literally. But I'm going to give her the 3.5 mainly because even if this was a terrible week, she's still pretty safe, which I find crazy. But girl, hey,
that's the truth. Next we have Floater Rachel, y'all. And honestly, although she took it as an insult when Keanu called her a floater, she I mean, that's a good word to use, low-key. She's actively playing the game in a manner that is trying to keep her bases covered on different planes. She made a final 2 with Ava. She's still trying to talk game with Keanu and repair relationships with Kelley. And she's trying to target Vince, who is kind of in her floater position right now. Like, she's doing everything a floater would do. Like a true game player floater, not a coaster who doesn't do anything, but someone who's actually trying to play all sides. She is kind of trying to do that. I think Rachel is actually very, very safe in the game because so many people have realized that she's not who she was 30 years ago. Well, 15 years ago. Let me not age her up. She's not who she was back then. And they feel like that her game this season is a little bit different. And she's making herself available, especially with Amy going home. Amy going home, she's made herself available. She has fake alliances with people. She might have a real alliance with a final 2 with Ava. I think the only issue is she's throwing Vince's name around too fucking. Calm down, queen. You know, you're just saying his name. You're just saying his name. I think he still is kind of confused as to where it's coming from right now, but she's doing a lot, and I don't want her to do that. But other than that, she's safe. I think she's in a good position. I like it. I'm actually going to give her, no, I'm not going to go that high, y'all, but I'm going to give her a 5.5. I think she's doing good, and she's maintaining, and that's that. Ciao.
Yeah.
Lee, how you feeling?
I think maintaining is a really good word. And I would say I don't think Vince is confused because Vince knows it's specifically Rachel. I just think Vince is so passive that he's not going to do anything about it, you know? And he's still saying how he wants her in jury and things like that. So it's odd. It's crazy that someone can throw out your name like this to multiple people. And he's like, well, you know, I'm still okay with her being in jury. I really don't get it. I don't. Vince is a very strange one, honestly. But you know, I really like what Rachel is doing in the game. I think that she's laying low. She's keeping quiet. People still want her in their jury. And I do think it's going to be dangerous for them because I still see a Rachel Rylie comp beast. You know, I still see it coming. It may not be happening now, but when less and less people are in the game, I could see her beasting out a few competitions. And that's what's going to get really dangerous. I think my main fear with Rachel is that there are so many people in this game that no matter what she says are not going to listen to her. Lauren, Kat, Adrian, Kelley, Keanu, Vince, and Zach to a certain extent. There are so many people who look at Rachel as the enemy, and even though they kind of want her to go far, some of them, they don't want to work with her long term. And I think that's always going to be her problem unless things start switching up, especially with this being a split house the way it is. If the sides stay even, I think that she has some targets in front of her, but that's also an issue. Like, with it being a split, you can't guarantee that you're going to be in the end game with people that want you there. You know, she could end up in the end game with people like Vince, Zach, Adrian, and Kat. And then it's like, well, girl, you're next. You know, I don't see her being able to necessarily change the trajectory of how people feel about her. Now, it is just week 3. So anything could happen. It's just the way they're talking about her. It's like, it's hard for me to see it. But at the same time, she still has a group surrounding her. I think she's guaranteed jury, and she didn't even need friendship bracelets to do it. So I want to give her 10s for that. I'm going to give her the 5.5 as well. It's not that high because I'm still scared of her other connections in the game. She does not have, I feel like, the social capital really to be that high right now. But I think she's going to be here for a minute.
Leah, how you feeling?
I agree. I've been obsessed with how much her social game has really blossomed and the way that she is accepted. And honestly, like, I really love her. I've really loved just zoning in on her personal relationships, specifically with Mickey and Ava and Ashley. I really like watching them talk to each other. I mean, her and Mickey are always in the kitchen together. That's like, you know, I enjoy the woman that she is and has become. I also, though, am getting a little bit of this self-doubt from her, which I need her to just whack out of there. But at the same time, the self-doubt is working for her a little bit because while she's underestimating herself, she's someone where it works for her to be underestimated to be kept versus Will is if he's underestimated, people don't see how he's an asset. But if Rachel's underestimated, she can go further. So I think she is. I couldn't tell because it seems so genuine whenever she's talking about, I don't know if I can win anymore. And like, she's crying and all of this stuff. And it seems so raw and it seems so genuine. But a part of me is like, is this a strategy to get everyone to underestimate her to keep her longer? And if it is, I mean, respect, because I'm obsessed. I think that she's a lot better insulated from a watcher's perspective, I'm enthused. From someone in the house, I'd be wanting her to the curb because now you're playing a social great game. You're doing all these things. Everybody loves you. Everyone wants to align with you. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. Because
for real.
Like, get the hell out of my house. Next to me or anyone here, any of them, she's winning. Well, too. She's winning. Why? Because you have to respect it. Unless they're just being a bunch of haters, which isn't going to happen. I just kind of, I don't know, but I respect her game. And I think that if I'm rating her gameplay, I'm going to go right there with you guys, a 5.5. Honestly, she's really doing it. She's really doing that dang thing.
Period. I will say Brendan did tweet that before the game they discussed her pretending to be insecure and He said he feels like her emotions are very genuine, but they did discuss that as a strategy. So you can only go based off what Brendan says. He knows best. Amen. So the
way he talks about her, may that
oh my God. May that love I loves Rachel. And oh my God. I don't know what his sign is, but she's a Libra and she's just like me. Like, that's my man. But only if it's a good man. And Brendan is a good man.
Well, I don't know about you.
I'm single, so you can't.
And you're single, why?
Because I haven't found my good man. Rachel, it took Rachel time. She wasn't until she was 26 on Big Brother. When I get on Big Brother, I'm gonna find my man.
Period.
Cancer, of course.
Oh, Cancer! He's a Cancer!
He's a Cancer.
I love a Cancer. That's who I need.
They're like mush balls. Like they're like meant for that. My mom's a Cancer.
I like male Cancers. The women.
Yeah, me too. My mom's a little too much sometimes.
It's a little too much when it's well, sometimes. But yes,
I can't do a Cancer. I'm already too emotional. I don't need someone else emotional with me. It's too much water.
Two people crying in a corner. Cha.
I know. For me, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm like, speed it up. Like, let's get this.
Oh my God.
But I do love like watching even old clips of them and like the way that he encourages her and uplifts her. I'm obsessed with the relationship.
Yes. Next we have Ava Pearl, y'all.
Diva Pearl.
Lee, how you feel about Diva Pearl?
I love her. I love her so much. She's literally the safest person in the house. Lauren had a conversation with her. She was like, I'm gonna be real with you. Everybody in mama name got thrown out except yours. Okay. Yep. Ava is the only person in the game that everyone seems to like, that everyone seems to work with, that everyone seems to not want to nominate at all. And I think she's going to be in this position for a while. Like, I don't see anyone really coming after her. I don't see anyone thinking about targeting her. And what I like about Ava is that she's still an active player. Like, she isn't like Adrian O'Shea taking information and spreading it to someone else. She's keeping her cards close to her chest. And I do feel like she is going to be able to make the right decision, mainly because she's a spiritual person. And I just feel like, as a spiritual person myself, like that could lead her to greatness, you know, but also too, is like, I don't see people seeing her as the big threat. You know, if she were to win and make a decision in this split house, it could cause her to get some enemies, but I don't see her being the main person that people are going to look after. Also, I see her being able to kind of chill for a minute. Like, hopefully she doesn't win the HOH right now. Like, I kind of want her to wait till she gets the jury to start winning competitions, because then she'll be able to, I think, really capitalize on the connections and things she has. She can choose the path at that point that's best for her. And I'm just hoping that she's savvy enough to do so. Like, we know she's not like the biggest fan ever, but I do think that she clearly is likable enough to get into enough connections that people don't want to go after her. And I think that's really good. And I'm going to go ahead and give her, she's the safest person in the house by a mile. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. Now, I feel like she would be a 7 or a higher. I feel like if like I thought the strategic acumen was a little bit better, I do want her to be able to just really use this position at the best of her ability. And I feel like because she isn't the biggest fan yet, like she's not able to do that fully. But she's picking up on the game. Like, I think she's gonna be one to watch when we get to jury.
Leah, how you feeling about Ava Pearl?
I agree wholeheartedly, and I mean, I'm obsessed. I've told you guys before. I love her sense of humor. You know, though, is something that I can't stop correlating in my brain, and they're vastly different in terms of everything really, but
yeah.
same in the way that they're so divinely protected. That's going to be Ava Pearl and Miss T-Core, my absolute angel. T-Core, to this exact moment, anyone on the cast would tell you she does no wrong. She's like just an absolute, I don't know. She's incredible, and she was just so well liked that I was convinced that no one would ever take a shot at her. She was my first ever person that I loved and adored in the house. This is how I feel about Ava. She is under the radar. She's doing her thing. Everybody likes her on a personal level. I never hear her brought up in a negative way. She's more outgoing and extroverted than T-Core is, but I'm telling you guys, like, T-Core was such like someone you never thought would leave this house. And I think that the problem is that people start to eventually catch on to that. Everyone likes her. She has to go. That's what's going to happen to Ava, in my opinion, my personal opinion. I obviously would love for her to win. But I think that people like her, whenever they are caught on to, they go. And I think she'll end up, third jury member, something like that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to probably copy you around like 6.5. But I do think that it would be higher had she won competitions, or had I understood sort of where her head is at and where she wants the game to go. Because right now I'm seeing her align to, Rachel. I love that her and Rachel have a final two. That was like, I brought like tears to my eyes for some reason, just because it was like so wholesome. She's like, really, me? Like, oh my gosh, like that was incredible. And I also just like, she's just natural. Like, she just is a natural. It just goes for her. And she doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't even have to try. Like, it's just working for her in a social aspect. But it's like T-Core. Like, T-Core won her HOH and was like literally shaking because she didn't want to have to do that. And she was so well insulated. She didn't have to win anything to secure her safety. Same with Ava. And I hope also that she doesn't really gun for the HOH. I want her to remain under the radar and not have to use power. So I kind of hope that she takes the T-Core route and sort of lets herself fall as just the likable person for now. And I hope that they don't catch on to just yet.
Yeah. Y'all spilled, both of y'all. I feel like the T-Core comparison is very good. I feel like, other than the personality type, like the gameplay, like the positioning, I think it's similar. And I think the issue that both of them kind of had was the strategic positioning. You're positioned well socially, but strategically, Ava's not in any alliances that are real. And at this moment, it's like, why not, girl? Everyone loves you. You should be in an alliance, or you should have more final twos, or more something, very much something, because other people are in strategic alliances, are in strategic groupings. And I think that's where she might get left behind. But I'm gonna give her the 6.5 as well, because everything y'all said, y'all spilled. No notes. Next, we have Vince. Ooh, he's an interesting one, as always. He's very interesting. Leah, how do you feel about Vince?
I actually wanted to not like him during his HOH because, and also, but you know what? The first HOH is definitely the hardest. I watched Angela go through it. None of us are sleeping at all. Like, it's incredibly hard to make these decisions. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and these people are having one-on-ones with literally him the most in however long. Had to have one-on-ones with 16 people. Then you have to go into the DR and talk your lungs out for God knows how long, until freaking however long in the morning. And then another, and then you can't take a shower, which was the whole BS, whatever. And I think, though, I actually am starting to like him, and I'll tell you why. Because the person that I see on the live feeds isn't this like strategic mastermind manipulator that Rachel sort of is plaguing him to be. I actually think that he is kind, and he's going to go further, because whenever I've heard him talk about even Mickey he reminded me, and this is not because they look similar, but he reminded me to a certain extent of Joseph, only because Joseph, the one thing that he always did, it didn't matter who was cooking or who did anything, like, he wouldn't talk negatively about anybody. Like, he would sit there and be like, well, I'm grateful for whoever's making me food. Like, I don't care. And he's just such a deeply kind person, but you wouldn't know that just based on the edited show. But from watching Vince on the feeds, I've heard the way that he speaks about the people who do things for him. And I think he's a very grateful person. versus everyone being like unemployed loser. I think he's a freaking. I think he actually is kind, and people will want to keep him around because they like being around him. And also, it seems like I told you guys before, but I want him to be on the left. That what we had on the left side. That's where I want him. But he's wanted also on the right, and it seems like he's more nurturing the right side's friendships. I don't know why. Again, with Adrian and Zach, I don't know, guys. I don't know why we're doing that, but I want to see him. I want to see him go further. I actually really like him, and I don't think he's what everyone makes him out to be. And I'm gonna go pretty high. I'm trying to think because I feel like he did something that I wasn't too keen on, but I can't remember right now because my memory is shot.
He let Lauren Adrian. He was, well, I don't know about that, but you know that. And some of the girls are saying his name.
Yeah.
See, that's the only thing is that like they, again, I mean, I used to tell Joseph all the time, I'm like, you just look like you're up to no good. The mustache is not doing you wonders right now,
What's
buddy.
The mustache.
Yeah, the mustache, you look sussy. Like they can't trust you because of the stash. Like what, you know, his mustache is full of secrets. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 6.
Okay.
Which seems high. I know it's high, but I like I said, I'm only doing that because I think that he's he might not be as well positioned as I think he is, but I think he'll go far just because he seems kind.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with you. I'm glad you brought up the kindness part because earlier when we were discussing all of the verbiage people were using against certain house guests and stuff, I caught on the feeds. He was talking to Lauren about it's basically that. And when he was speaking, he was about to say, yeah, I wouldn't want anybody to like do something. I don't remember the word he was going to say, but he was going to say a word like that. And he said, oh, I shouldn't even say that word. I shouldn't say a word because it's not giving that actually. He corrected himself. He was like, we shouldn't even use that verbiage about it. And we should just talk normally. Like, I just wouldn't want you to get in trouble for putting them up. And I really respected that. I really did respect that. So I'm glad you brought up the fact that he's nice because I do think that's true. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't confident on all of that at first until I saw that early on the feeds. I was like, oh, he's sweet for that because girl, the girls just throw out words nowadays. Oh, but yes. But also in the game, I think he's although the girls are sussing him out, baby, are you gonna hit that shot? Because Jimmy is never evicting that man. Zach's not evicting that man. Like he has
Morgan not evicting that man.
Lauren's not evicting that man. Kelley and Keanu are gonna go to bat, even though Keanu going to bat is a death sentence. Like he has too many connections. You can't hit that shot even if you wanted to. And I do think with all the fake alliances he's in, it's gonna make people be like, well, girl, I'm in a fake alliance with him. Fuck Kat. She don't even talk to me. I do think, although they say all of these things, if Rachel's maybe Rachel's a little chaotic, but if Rachel's HOH, to be honest, she shouldn't put up Vince because, baby, you're not going to hit that shot and you're going to look a fool. Like, no one should even do it. You shouldn't. It would be a bad move. So I do think
put her up 100%.
Literally, and I do think that she eventually, like, if he's in danger, he won't actually be in danger when that person actually wins the HOH. It's kind of like when we were talking about how Rachel and Ashley just say things. I think they're saying Vince is a problem, but if they're actually HOH, you're not telling me Ashley not putting up Kat. Ashley's putting up Kat and Keanu and Kelley, and Rachel's putting up Keanu. Well, maybe not Keanu, but Rachel's putting up Kat and Kelley.
I think Rachel's gonna stand on and put up Vince.
I think Rachel might stand up, and that would be a terrible move. That would be so bad. That's the thing. If they do it, it's not even smart, in my opinion, because I don't think he's going home. So I think I'm going to give him the 6 as well. Although he has had his name slanged around, I don't think he could go home according to the numbers. You know what I mean? Lee, how you feeling?
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of the things y'all said about Vince. I feel like I'm going to go with the 5.5 only because I don't like that his game took a shot this week. And I also didn't like the response to it. Like, I know that the house guests aren't seeing it, but when he kind of got caught up a little bit, his reaction to it gave like this nervous energy. And it's very much like, I didn't do that. No. Why would you think that? And then he kind of goes around and he slightly questions people and things like that. Like, I can see as the game progresses that these little seeds that Ashley and Rachel and Mickey and Adrian are kind of saying, they could grow because he is playing all sides. And I'm interested to see what is he going to do if he win HOH again, because he's aligned with every goddamn body.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's juggling it well now, but I'm really interested to see where that's gonna go as we get deeper into the game, because you can't promise everyone everything. He promised, like, you will talk to him and you will believe that he is your number one ally, and then he'll go to somebody else and drag the fuck out of you with them, and then go to the next person and say he loved you again. And it's just like, who is he actually loyal to? I don't know. I have no idea who this man is actually loyal to, because he literally agrees with everybody. And I think the reason why I'm going to give him the 5.5 specifically off this week is because you really could have ran this HOH, made sure who you wanted to go home went home, and he took a back seat. And I don't love that, because it just reminds me of the passiveness we saw in his week when he was damn near telling people to tell me what to do. And it's like, players like that, I'm like, how are you going to fare when the going really get tough? When we're in the end game, and you got to make certain decisions. I don't think he's safe for a while. I just wanted to knock him that one point, because, girl, what were you doing?
You're spilling. Like, you really are spilling. And I feel less bad about him and Zach this week, because no shade, the people who on the block, like, anyone can go and they will still probably be good. I felt so bad about Lauren, because, like, Lauren, you damn near put your stamp on this side of the house, and then you didn't really do it. It's like, girl, you don't have the heavy hitters. You don't have fake alliances with Jimmy. You don't have fake alliances with these people. With Vince, I was like, I guess you're safe for now. We'll see. Next is Morgan. So this is the thing about Morgan. Similar to Vince's, this trio, Morgan, Vince, and Zach, they all have similar situations going on. Specifically, like with Morgan, she does have this connection to Vince and Zach, to where they are saying they would not nom Morgan. They would not nominate Morgan. They wouldn't target Morgan. I do think, though, for Morgan, other people on this side would feel comfortable nominating her, and they wouldn't think much about it. I think she could easily get nominated by Keanu, Kelley, Rylie, or Kat. I think any of them would nominate her, but I think, like Vince, she will be safe. I think it's going to be hard to get the votes to evict Morgan, because I don't see a world where Zach or Vince would want to evict Morgan. And then I do think she's also kind of up there on the priority list on her side as well. She has like a close relationship to Rachel and Jimmy, but I don't like, she's been more active in the game for longer. But I don't know. It could go either way. I don't think she will get evicted if she's nominated, is my point. I think although she could be, I don't think she'll go home, because of her connections, and the way she's been playing the game has been so strategic and active. And then honestly, like, I think it's less likely for a situation where she is a final nominee as well, but she's in danger. That's why I'm scared. They keep saying they want to nom her and Mickey. We're nominating Morgan and Mickey. Morgan and Mickey are running. Morgan and Mickey are running this side. And that's not good for her. And so because of that, I don't feel great. Last week I gave her the 6.5. This week I'm feeling like way less about her. She was a part of the reason Ashley didn't go up. She's very active. She's in these fake alliances that keep getting formed. So I like that. But Morgan, you in danger, girl. Like, I feel more comfortable with her than others. But I'm still like, oh, girl, it could be bad for you. I'm looking at Jimmy. But that's another thing. Like, if Jimmy's on the block, Jimmy will go home. So I'm like, maybe she is a little bit above him. I think I'll give her a 5.5. I think her 5.5 because she did good work to make sure Ashley didn't get renommed. I think someone from the other side is going home. I think if she's nominated, she might stay. But she's just in danger. So she's not a 6. She's not a 6.5. I don't know. I'm scared. Lee, how you feeling?
I'm going to go with the 5 with Morgan, mainly because it's not just people on the other side talking about her. People on her own side is talking about her. And while we said earlier that I feel like this group isn't going to necessarily target each other, they are talking negatively about her, which shows that she is not working socially within even her own group. While she's a very active player, it seems like it's really mainly effective right now with Zach and Vince, which I do think will keep her safe with Zach and Vince. But what about Katherine putting you up? What about Rylie putting you up? What about Keanu putting you up? What about Adrian putting you up? A lot of people will put up Morgan, and I don't know how she's going to handle being nominated. And then she also will have to compete against Mickey and Ashley, 2 other active players. Ashley can win competitions. So it's like, I could see a world in which Morgan is on the block. Zach and Vince are so passive, they're not defending her, and Morgan just goes home. You know what I mean? I do think she has targets in front of her, but she's losing a lot of social capital this week, and I have to bring her down for that.
Period. Leah, how you feeling?
Honestly, like, I wanted to, like, Morgan, and I wanted to be obsessed with her like whenever I first initially like got the whole cast and saw everyone just based off of, you know, first appearances. And I've been just a bit disappointed, and now I'm starting to almost even feel bad. Like I feel kind of bad for her to a certain extent, and like this whole Zach thing like literally just take me out. Like I want no.
Every update, I'm like, oh
Like,
God.
Literally such a baddie and so smart. I'm like, get this man off my screen. Like, laugh at her one more time. Go.
Please.
I like, and that alone, it's good on one hand because it means she's underestimated, and if people view her to be like pathetic because of that, okay, maybe that will get her a little bit carried to a certain extent, but I just think it's hurting her because any of that showman's garbage, like just throw it in the back of your mind because it's just so, it really hurts a woman's game. I don't even think it hurts the man's game at all. Like, and I feel like he's really playing into it, and it's kind of freaking me out. Like, I don't like that he's playing into it and pretending, and then in the HOH, like kicking his feet with freaking Lauren being like, I want to take you on a date outside of this. Save it. Face. Like, ew. And also, I don't like that it's changing her perspective on the other house guests solely because she's viewing it from a different perspective of like, oh, well, she feels now her confidence is taking a hit, which it shouldn't. I don't like that that's affecting her game because she's better than that. I think that I don't know. I don't think that she's as well positioned socially as she was the past few weeks. I think that I know that I for sure heard, like I said earlier, Rachel and Mickey specifically, Rachel and Ashley specifically in the storage room speaking about how they think that she's fake and they don't want to knock her off now, but they will, you know, when the time comes. And she's essentially at the bottom of the totem pole now, which is so sad to hear because she's a smart player. I'm going to go honestly a little bit less for me. I think that she's like a 4.5 on my list. And that's only because if she were to harness all of the things that she's good at, like she could dominate the season. Like she really has the ability of dominating and using all of that energy to propel herself. But right now I feel like she's kind of like, and also advocating for someone not to go on the block. Some people love it. For Ashley, it's great. Some people will look at that and be like, oh, well, they are working together and now I need to get them both out type beat. And you're advocating for someone who's smacking you in the storage room. And listen, I'm guilty of it. We all are. But I think that I want her to go farther and I want her to do better. But if she keeps going this route and sort of letting people not know, I don't know. Like, I think that she could do better. And also the falling out that she had sort of with Ashley being condescending, or like people feel like she's being that way. You know, sometimes people don't mean to be that way, but they naturally speak to people like that. And it's so hard to be introspective and see yourself as that person. I'm guilty of this because I came off the show and everyone's like, oh, Leah just loves to talk about herself all day. And I'm like, oh, no, well, that's how I learn about people because I don't know who else to talk about. I don't know you people. You assume that I do that because I tend to just yap. I feel like that about Morgan. I don't think she necessarily means to come across condescending. I don't think Ashley means to either, but I think they're both because they're finding similarities within each other. So I think that's my rating on her. And that's
it. Zach, he was top 2 last week. Lee, how you feeling about Zach?
Child, I think I'm gonna give Zach the 6. Similar to Vince, I don't like how he's in this position and didn't use it at all. Zach is someone else that could have had an extreme influence over this HOH, and he didn't take it. And now we've seen him the last 2 weeks with these votes. He doesn't take the charge on that either. I wouldn't be surprised if Adrian or Kelley leave this week because he's not active enough to try and get these votes on his side, especially with this new heavy hitters group they just made. People like Morgan, people like Mickey, Rachel, they're going to push for Will to stay this week. And now they just made this new alliance. Zach can't go against that. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't think he will even want to. Like, he's so passive that he just goes with the group eventually, and that's not good. You have your own agenda, push it. If you had any week where you could push your own agenda, it was this week. But the thing is, he could have done it every single week, and he doesn't do it. Now, I'm not upset about it because I'm like, you still have time to be able to do it because he's in all of these relationships. No one dislikes him. Like, I think he's up there with Ava as far as like safety. You know what I mean? Like, people are not worried about targeting him. Like, Mickey, Ashley have discussed him being a problem, but not an immediate to one where they want him out next. And I think that's really good for him. It's just, I don't like the passiveness in his gameplay. And I think until he fixes that, I don't really see a winner here. You know, I can see Lauren beating him. God damn it. You know what I mean? Because what's the difference in their passiveness? Like, there's not much of a difference, and she got the HOH. So I'm like, I'm interested to see where his trajectory is going to go. Right now, he's in a great position, but I'm just like, sir, use it. Like, I hate players that's in this like really, really good position, and they're just sitting there. Because you know how many people would kill to be in that position where everyone loves you, and you barely have to lift a finger, bitch, and you're in jury. You got a whole power that's gonna get you to jury, and you're sitting here. You know, I'm not saying go wild and crazy and make yourself a target, but god damn, like, you know, move your weight around a little bit, because at the end of the day, it's still about building a resume, you know, having things that you can say that you've done within this game. And right now, he hasn't done nothing but let his allies go home.
Child, Leah, how you feel about him?
He is one of my least favorite archetypes, unfortunately.
You're so real. Why are you the realest? Why are you the realest woman alive?
Explain
to me that.
I don't like the dude bros that get carried. It's never been for me. I literally, you know, whenever, and like I said, I keep comparing him to Cam, and the only reason is because Cam was very aware, and like whenever we talk about it to this day, like we watch the live eviction every week, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that both, you know, Mackenzie and Chelsea were gonna take him and all the way to the top 3, and he didn't even care about winning. He just wanted to make top 3. I wanted to win. So whenever people don't want to win, I'm not obsessed. That's how Zach is playing for me. He's not giving it to me. He's spreading himself a little thin. And good thing we're not rating on safety, because if we were rating on safety, I'd probably give him a 7. But since we're rating on gameplay, I'm gonna go lower. Sorry, I'm gonna go actually like maybe a 3. And I don't even know if he deserves it, because Lauren at least won an HOH, for Pete's sakes. What the heck?
Gag him. You
have a secret power, and you're gonna skate till jury. I'm really grateful. I'm so happy that you have safety. But what did you really do to earn it? Like, you saved Julie. You did a couple emotes. You're the Cam of the season. Shout out to all the dogs at the crib. I'm not a.
Why did you just gag this in there? Oh my god, you're so real. You're so. I'm feeling so. But this is my thing. I do feel like Zach, because his position is so good, he's not going to be targeted for a while.
Yeah,
he's going to have time to.
He's going to go far. Adjust. I think he's going to go far. I just don't love how he's going to go far.
You're right.
I agree, because this is the thing. Because I'm going to give him the same score I gave Vince. I'm going to give him a 6 as well. And you would think, girl, how? The girls are saying Vince's name, but this is my thing. I think Vince, although they're both passive, I think Vince is actively playing Big Brother. If that makes Vince is playing Big Brother, and Zach is as well. But Vince is the reason he's had so many different relationships and bonds, because he keeps talking to these people. He keeps making these relationships bonds. He keeps encouraging it. He keeps faking final 2s. He has 7, 10, 9, 11 final 2s. Honestly, Zach, you should too, and you don't. And it's because people approach Zach. People come to Zach. Zach has a natural privilege that comes with being tall and handsome. Some might say, some might not. You know, whatever the fuck it is, and a man. So he kind of benefits from some of these natural things. I do think Zach is playing the game, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I do think Zach is playing the game, and he has strategic conversations here and there. He's very he shies away from making mistakes. And if you don't make mistakes in Big Brother, it gets you very far. That is what happened with Cam. We've seen it happen with winners like Xavier. You really stay away from making a mistake and fucking up your game. And I think that's one thing Zach does very well, which is why I'm still going to give him the 6. He's positioned nicely. He's in damn near every fake alliance there is. He is safe, just like Ava is. I don't love how passive he was with this move with Lauren, but similar to Vince, I kind of don't give that many fucks, because I do feel like for him and Vince, they're fine. You know, I think they're mostly fine regardless of whether Adrian stays or not, because Will still kind of likes them. You know, like well, not Vince. People still like them. People like Zach. Morgan likes Zach. Ashley thinks Zach's her best friend still to this day, even though she found out he isn't, but she still kind of thinks he is. Like, people still like him. So I think he's gonna be fine. So I'm still gonna give him a 6, but do something. Please.
Do something. Win and just
do something. Do something. Right. But anyways,
I think I know he's gonna go far. I really do, but I'm just like, like, you know, but you know what I also do respect about both him and Vince is that like they could have easily gone in on Lauren's situation, like bossed her around. And I used to hate that, being in the house whenever people would go up there and be like, do this, do that, put this person up. If you don't do this, then I'm going to do this. And I like actually that they didn't give a solid answer of whatever, because it made it look like they weren't trying to take it over, and they could have easily, if they were going to do it to anyone, they could have easily done it to her.
She was damn near begging for it.
She was begging for it. And
yeah. We'll he better than me, because I would have said, girl, if you don't put up Mickey and Morgan and get
right.
I would have said, I would have went to Lauren and I would have said, Mickey and Morgan were panicking when you won the HOH, girl. Like, I wouldn't have told her. No, I would have told her what to do. I would have told her to put them up. No, not me. Not Pharaoh. But if I was Zach, who doesn't like Mickey and Morgan, I would never go after Mickey and Morgan. But if I was Zach and I don't like them and you know. Anyway,
I think that I don't know. We'll see. I think that he could redeem him. We'll see. I just really, I also am just frustrated because no one brings up his name and he's just flying by. And I just hate it when that happens, because I'm like, ding dong, that's the people those are the threats.
Literally. Yeah. I will always be worried about that archetype every time I play. I would be like, get this man up out of here.
He gotta go.
Keep the problematic queen and get out the cool guy that everyone loves.
Literally. Get him out. Last and most, Miss Mickey, the legend, the icon, the diva. Leah, how do you feel about your fave, as you said, Mickey?
He is just my fave, and I don't know what is. Also, this is similar to how I feel about Chelsea, and this is why I get such, like, why I look at her so highly, is because whenever a woman like gives me the energy that like they're not friends with everyone off bat, like you have to earn it. I like to earn my friendship. All my best friends are women that I've earned a friendship with, and I like, you know, I'm the affectionate one, and they're kind of like, I'm the golden retriever, they're like the black cat, you know what I mean? That's kind of what Mickey gives me, and I really love that she's a truth seeker. People respect her, they tell her how they're feeling. One thing that she does lose a couple brownie points for me is that like she's also the type to talk about her feelings and and she's not afraid to tell people. And that's the same thing I love about her, could equally be detriment, because like not everybody needs to know how you feel about other people. Keep that to yourself. Take note, tilly-tally, whatever you need to. But if you're going to tell everyone how you feel, you might put yourself in a precarious situation if someone decides to rat on you. And since they already are talking mess about, oh, well, I'm afraid that she might blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, well, she did say this about you, whatever. That kind of he said, she said, unfortunately goes far in the game. And I just don't want anyone to fall for that. And I'm also really frustrated because I really don't think she's going to be able to get to use her power, because I think everyone at this point has caught on to that.
Yep.
The only way that she might get away from that is having someone deflect and say that they have it. And that's what I would do. I would tell one of my allies, like to some extent, if I had a couple of allies that would have gone to war for me. And I think if I were her, I'd be like, you know, let's like figure out how to pin it on someone else so that you can take advantage of this thing that you rightfully earned. And I don't like that she told anyone about it, though. Is that like when she instantly freaking told Morgan, I was like, no, because even when Mackenzie was telling me that she had the power, I was like, why would you tell me that? And then like Quinn was apologizing to everyone for not telling him that they had it. I'm like, Quinn, I would have literally guarded that with my whole life. I would have convinced them that the power never existed, to be honest. Like I'd have been like, power? I have no idea. I think that she's very high in my book. I'm definitely okay, hold on. Let me think of where she's lost more points with me. I just think her and Rachel are such a slay duo, and nobody has really brought. I know they bring her up, but at what cost? Like people are still. She's also been right there. She can smell that HOH, and I feel like she's gonna get one. I'd be shocked if she doesn't get an HOH. And and the people who want to put her up are losers because I want her to stay longer.
Period.
I'm gonna say she's gonna be my highest rated. You guys already knew that. I'm gonna go 7.5 for my queen.
I know that's right. Oh, I know that's right.
She's just my kind of girl. And above all of that, people are really quick to mention like, oh, she seems like she's angry and this and that. She's also one of the kindest people. Like, I mean, even whether it was strategy or not, to like sit there and pray with Lauren and help her. And she's always the comforting person. And I've noticed this of Ashley too, where it's like, they might bark a little bit but they are also the same people who console and make people feel comfortable. Like they're not the ones saying behind closed doors a bunch of crap and not backing it up. These girls have backbones. And that's like the main reason why I rated Lauren so low, is because I wanted that backbone and I didn't get it. And that's the same how I feel about Zach and Lauren. To me, same. The backbones are there. Vince and Mickey, though, we're getting backbones there. And that's what I think. So
period. Leah, you finna be mad at me. This is my sister. This is my queen. This is my legend.
We're mad at her this week. That's okay.
I love Mickey down. This is my thing. I feel like Mickey got very active in the game as a strategist, like within week 2, and then it led into week 3. And I feel like I love that, but I think it led to her. I think she got excited. I don't know, but it seems like she got excited or she got comfortable or something, because she started talking to Adrian about strategy, which is fine. And then she started telling Adrian that not to trust Morgan and Zach and Vin. I'm like, ooh, you saying a lot of names, queen. And then this week, we saw today she was confronting Keanu about stuff. She's confronted Ashley, was kind of like, girl, I'm over it. It seems like she's getting either comfortable or annoyed or something, to where she's doing a lot more. And I do think Chelsea comparisons are fair, because she has a strong, like, powerful presence within the game. I think the issue is it's getting noticed too quickly. Like, it's week 3, and I think everyone in the house kind of understands that Mickey is a powerful presence. And I don't love that for her so early, because a lot of the girls are talking about targeting her and putting her up and da-da-da-da. And because she hasn't, because it took her time to become strategic, she kind of lacked on that Zach bond that she needs, that Vince bond that she needs, the bonds that could kind of keep her from going up. And I think that's my problem with Mickey. I think she's vulnerable because people know she's that boss queen legend. So I'm just scared for her as moving forward. And she got a power, and they know she has a power, and that's the thing. Like, who knows how that's gonna go? It's just so much. And then the first real alliance she's been in, other than Triple Threat, is now this fake heavy hitters thing, and that's finally. But I just felt like all week she spent too much time doing other stuff, giving people information. She could have spent time making her own solid group with a real group of people, because she doesn't even like Zach and Vince. She's been saying their name, so, and they know that. Now they know she's been saying their name. So now Zach and Vince, two of the most, I guess, powerful positioned people who don't do shit. I will say, I'm not scared because they don't really do active things, but they know that Mickey's targeting them. She said too much, and she gave too much information too fast, and that's why I'm going to give her a 5. I do really appreciate her. I think, in my opinion, she had the best pitch to Lauren, because Lauren was telling other people how she appreciated that Mickey didn't tell her what to do like Morgan did. No shade. Morgan tried to tell her what to do, and she appreciated that Mickey didn't. And I think she actually did I think she genuinely did appreciate it. And I think she genuinely did listen when Mickey talked. And Mickey had a very heavy hand in making sure her close ally Ashley wasn't nominated. Mickey is an active player. She does have this presence to her. All of those things are positive. I just think she's going to be a target. So I'm giving her props for being active, doing what she did this week, having a dominant position in the game. But I can't go no higher than a 5 because, baby, you in danger. Lee, how you feeling?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to go with the 5 as well, mainly because, she gave Adrian that information and that got leaked out. Morgan found out about it today, and Morgan is like, oh, that's weird. I don't know if I can really trust her that much. She's like, Zach and Vince are the only people she trusts now. And I also don't love that people like Katherine, Rylie, Keanu, Kelley would put her up. And I do think that she's going to be one of the biggest targets for them, especially if she attempts to use her power, because they're going to be like, girl, you just try to play us, And I think her power is so stupid because you have to overturn the HOH and then everyone knows you're the HOH. What's the point of getting an HOH power if people are going to know you're the HOH?
Exactly.
I don't get it.
I don't
they
get
play
it.
In her face.
That's what they should have given Amy. Like, that's what the accomplice should have been, not entering the house. Like, it should have been take over an HOH as the accomplice.
Literally something like that, and then it will make sense because we just did Quinn's power last season. It's like, okay, an HOH type of power that's secret. Like, I think people love the idea of a secret HOH. So I just feel like I don't love that move. I don't think that her social capital is as well as it could be because there's a whole side of the house that is looking at her potentially as the head target, especially if she tries to use that power. And that's scary to me. I do think that she's a good talker. So if she is nominated, I do think there's a possibility she could stay over her other allies. It's just the main issue is that because she wasn't in the original heavy hitters and because she wasn't really making those strides to get people on the other side, people like Morgan, people like Jimmy, they have those connections where she's lacking. So I think Mickey's best bet is for her side to keep winning. So she'll be able to get back into that position where, okay, she's in the center of this side. It doesn't matter if Rylie and Katherine don't like her because they're not in the game anymore. She needs those people out. Those outliers that want to put her up and potentially want to target her, she has to get them out. Even Keanu recently was like, yeah, it'd be great if we can get Mickey and Morgan out back to back. So I just feel like not only is she a potential target, she's a potential head target. And that scares me so much because I love her so much. And if she goes home, I'm done with the goddamn season.
I need her.
If she goes home, that's the last podcast I'm doing.
I need her to win HOH like yesterday. Like
literally.
Another thing though is that I feel similar, and I just keep relating them to players of my season just because it's the easiest for me. But I think that like she's also, someone who reminds me of Brooklyn in a sense. Like, and Brooklyn, and I say that because Brooklyn was she also, like, I would have been her ally till the wheels fell off. And I think that she, could have gone farther, and she had smart gameplay. Like, she could have gone farther and been, but she played quickly. And also she has this, and she had her, she got into it a little bit with Kenny at one point and with Angela at one point. And there was a lot of that, and with Tucker as well. And that's kind of the path that Mickey is taking, sort of, where, people see how you're feeling, how you're playing, and that sort of tension, it puts you a few steps back in the game, unfortunately. And like Mickey and Brooklyn are the same in the sense where they're just like, they just have this insane mug where they look gorgeous all the time, but they are also intimidating and they wear their emotions on their sleeve 24. Brooklyn could not fake an emotion to save her life. I feel like that about Mickey. I don't think Mickey is fake. I don't think she can fake it. I feel like she shows it, and that could be that could sway things. But she's come close to winning. She might win this next HOH, and if she does, I will be rooting for her.
Period. Oh, we stand Mickey over here, y'all. Y'all ain't never gonna hear a bad word about her.
Please let our baby survive.
All right, y'all. I have them in order. On the left is the highest rated player, and then on the right is the lowest rated player. Our bottom 5 of this week, the losers. At the very bottom, we have Kat. Then we have Kelley and Keanu above her. Then we have Rylie and Adrian. All flops, if you ask me. And that's no shade. Like, we really spill with this. This is a good bottom 5. We ate down. And then the top 5, we have Zach, then Rachel, then Vince, then Mickey, then Ava. Ooh, icons.
Ava at number 1.
Ava at number 1, which is crazy, but it's very real. And I think because the house has like kind of split, the person dead in the middle being number 1 makes 100% sense, honestly, because she's dead in the middle, honestly. So yeah, here we are. It's looking very accurate. What you think, Leah? You got
I am like about to hold on, I'm responding to something. This is I have my list here. I can't even show you, but this is my rankings based on how I think they're gonna go home sort of situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the same exact top 5. We ate.
Period.
At the bottom, I had the same at the bottom for like my personality ranking sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But for the bottom 5, I had Zay, Amy, Adrian, Will, and Keanu, just because I feel like Will might go, but if he doesn't go, then he'll be higher up on my list. But sometimes it's difficult to know. I'm really excited to see how it goes though, but I don't know.
Yeah, it could change. It changes every week, child.
I don't want the other side to like win HOH though, because then I can't. Like,
girl, they won't. They gonna throw it.
They better the fuck not. They better the fuck not. All of that.
No, at that point, I'm like, boo. But that's what creates the. I just don't like the whole thing of like, oh, let's take out all the big personalities and all the fun and like let's just suck the fun out of everything. Thank you. What about us, guys?
Care about the audience.
Yeah, what about the audience? Think about what we want.
Think about what we want. Period. Thank you so much, Leah, for being here with us. Oh my God.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm incredibly grateful. I know I said it already, but you two are so good and incredible, and and have such great perspectives on the game and everything. Like I hope that if being on the show one day is in your field of desire, that you absolutely achieve that, because I love listening to your opinions. I feel like even though I've experienced it and it's a different, I love hearing how people's mind work about the game, because we all have different ways of viewing it, and that's why it's a social experiment. But you guys do such a great job at interviewing, and I feel so comfortable around you guys, and I'm gonna miss you next week.
Oh, thank you so much. You're amazing. Yeah, you're literally my favorite guest ever. Oh my God, fuck everybody else. They all suck. Oh, okay. Sorry.
You guys are incredible. Like, seriously, thank you for having me. And I mean, I'm just a 7th place queen, but I do my best.
A queen nonetheless. Period.
Queen at all cost.
So, Leah, tell the girls where they can find you if you want them to find you, because some people don't.
Well, if you would like to find me, I am on all of the socials as Leah Peters with 2 S's, because there is a girl who has been holding the Leah Peters with 1 S for dear life since I was probably like, I don't even know, 16 or 17. And her and I go to, like, we almost fist fight every time I message her. And she's from Britain, so I'm never winning this fight ever, because, you know, we're in Chav territory. So she will not go down without a fight. But it is Leah Peters with 2 S's on TikTok, Instagram, all of the above. And I live in LA. And now I used to live in Miami, but I'm all over all the time. I travel all the time. And that's that. That's me.
Yes, I put some of Leah's socials in the description. So if y'all want to just click it and follow Leah. And also, if you just made it through this whole motherfucking video, why aren't you subscribed to us? Leah's on the podcast. Period. 2 weeks ago, we had Quinn on the podcast, and 2 weeks from now, we will have someone else very, very special from Big Brother on the podcast. So make sure y'all are subscribed to us. Y'all get into our content. We do our live we do our live feed updates every single Tuesday with a special guest. Every single Wednesday, we also have a special guest. for our TRK after show every single week. And this week, the special guest for our after show is Bailey Pelham, the winner of Big Brother Canada 12. So make sure you join us and use the hashtag KingdomSpeaks if you want to ask Bailey a question or me a question or us a question about this week or about her or whatever it is or whatever. Also, get into our eviction breakdown after every single Thursday episode. Girl, I'm also doing the challenge. Do I want to? I guess we'll have to see. And then also coming soon is Australia versus World Survivor. So get into all of that or whatever. And girl, thank you. Thank you, Leah, once again.
Thank you. And I need both of you to text me your addresses so I can send you some Siswa underwear from my brand.
Yes. Anyways, y'all, thank you guys for keeping it real with the Kingdom. We are out for now. Bye.